I'm feeling sad right now. It's not about you, honey. I just really feel sad and I don't know why. But how do you model that? You model it with your brother. You don't go try and model it with your woman. You model that with your brother. And when you model that with your brother, you become more secure with your masculinity of speaking that way. Because your brother in turn will do it to you and will honor you if you're in the right setting and if you have the right people around you. Now we can go back into our relationships and we can be vulnerable and communicate and say these kind of things.
No.
Right? Because we modeled it to each other. Like, this is okay. Now I can go talk to my woman like this. This is what I'm feeling right now. And this is why I'm feeling like this. And in turn, usually the woman's gonna be like, oh my God, I got a good man. Yeah, I got a good man. He just told me how he felt. Girl, such and such just talked to me and he said he was feeling sad. It wasn't about me. And we had this long conversation and we worked it out with each other and I helped him to see, you know, oh, I got a good man. Oh, I just feel so.
And let me cuddle that spoon too.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
oh, you did that? What was that like? And oh my God, it was just the best. And he didn't want sex. He just wanted to hold me. Right? So then when you do have sex, it's like,
Pretty exciting.
ooh, ah,
So how do you start these kind of interviews?
I don't know. What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, I would like to introduce Matrudas, a beautiful, sensitive human being, a man who I really admire. And so how it all came about, we had this beautiful man circle having lunch one day with two other brothers, Ginny and Cameron. And we had this beautiful conversation. And I just thought, wow, this is really a man I look up to. When I saw you the first time, I already thought the way you were talking, the way you were reflective about your feelings and your emotions, that, yeah, that's exactly what I'm working towards as well. And I got really inspired by that. And so I'm very happy that actually now we can do an interview and I can actually talk with you about a few things and explore together what does it take to be a man, actually, especially in nowadays time where the masculine, the feminine seems a bit out of balance. And Matrudas is a energy healer.
No,
It'll work. How would you like to be actually?
spiritual life coach. Yeah. You know, we're in charge of our own healing, and I like sharing what I know to help other people to do their work, you know, empower themselves and to know that they're their own healer. No disrespect to any energy healers out there, but
Sorry, I think we're too fully business gonna be lost. Okay, take two. If you're happy and tonight, clap your hands. If you're happy and tonight, clap your hands. If you're happy and tonight, and you really wanna show it, if you're happy and tonight, clap your hands. Nice.
right.
So, hi Matrudas, welcome on my first ever interview on the show of Man and His Feminine, working title.
Beautiful. Happy to be here, man. We've had some great conversations to lead up to this. You know, thank you for sharing your dream of sharing what it is to be a masculine man in this this beautiful world that we're living into, and integrate the feminine. You know, we were talking, and the subject of Kundalini awoke, and in that discussion we were talking about, you know, the masculine and feminine moving up the spine, and a beautiful web just become one, and that's us divine. right? That's the natural harmony. There is no masculine, there is no feminine. It's just divine, you know. And to incorporate that for each individual, how that suits them. This is me, this is you, and this is how it comes out. But also being able to speak about how it feels for each individual without them being shamed or guilted for however that works out for them. We all shared that group of me, you, Cameron, and Chini, of being able to have intimate conversations with our brothers and speak about how we feel emotionally and be supported, you know, really be supported, you know, not feel that we need to be a different way, you know. I think this world is waking up to another level of consciousness. And within that, we're becoming more sensitive. We feel energy differently. Some of us feel it more than others. Some don't feel it at all, but emotionally, I think we are in a time where it's okay. We can speak about our emotions to each other and not be seen as being soft or weak or less than a man, because, you know, I am this man, and this is the only man I can be. I can't be this man over here, you know? But even myself growing up, I was comparing myself to other men because I didn't understand what it was like to be the sensitive man in a masculine world. So I had to pick my battles very gently, and those battles were with myself versus with the world, because I did feel differently, because I'm empathic, I'm intuitive, I have spiritual awareness. Some may call them spiritual gifts, I call them spiritual awareness. I was able to see ghosts, spirits.
When did that start?
Oh, ever since I've been a kid, you know. Yeah.
How was it reciprocated by the people around you?
Oh, it wasn't at all. It wasn't accepted at all. Just told we don't talk about that stuff. That's the devil. Shamed and guilted for being emotional. You need to man up. You know, boys don't cry. Only to know that I was a HSP, which is a hypersensitive person. And I was just feeling emotions that weren't even mine, and they would just spill out or would enter and act them out, you know. There was a lot of anger and sadness and depression and oppression in my family. And I was just absorbing it, you know. A child from the ages of conception to about 7 is a sponge. So anything that mother is going through that time period, and the father, that kid is going to inherently come into this world with. Okay. And then from that point on, it's like a sponge. You know, the energy systems of the root chakra is developed from conception to about 3 months. And that identifies with being safe, belonging in this world, how you fit in this world. And from about 3 to about I think it's 14, 15 months, the sacral chakra, and that is how you are with your emotions, how you identify your creativity, how you deal with your sexuality. And if a child is not being nurtured, held, and kept close, then it doesn't know how to regulate a sympathetic nervous system. You know, so it doesn't know how to express one's emotions, and that plays itself out. You know, the energy systems is like graduation. You know, we come into this plane of this planet divine. We're one with God more than we ever have. You know, and then until someone tells us something different, it's usually about 7 or 8 when they tell us to stop believing in, you know, imaginary friends and how to act and react, and you know, they break us by that point. But until then, in the beginning stages, yeah, it's all cute to them. They don't realize it's really happening. Kids are notorious for seeing angels, spirits, and stuff like that. They're looking up all the time like, oh, all right, yeah. That's what they're seeing. There's a whole nother dimension that they're tapped in because they haven't been pulled away from that source and made to believe something different. And then as we grow up, we're trying to get back there.
First lose it, and then we try to get back to the place where we feel just complete,
right? We're all complete until someone tells us we're not. And it's usually our family system. They brainwash us through through our, once again, this is my thing, through my ancestral trauma, my generational, my karma. So I have to go through all of that, work through all of that, to try to be one with that again. And I say try to be one with that again because I already am that. But my ego thinks it's separate from it because of all the trials and tribulations and things that have occurred to make me think something outside of here. And when we come back into this space right here, we're just one. We're one with it. Like it resides in us. Jesus himself said, as I do, we all can do. And he's always pointing to his chest, that high heart, because that's where our soul really lies. That's the oneness really lies. And we go into deep meditation. It's so blissful. It feels so good. And we can feel that space. And then we open our eyes. And we're forced to interact with this outside world, right? And feel like we're losing something. Oh, well, gotta go back. Gotta get back something. We're never lost it. We are it. It is us. And so instead of bringing that space out here where we think we're bringing it into here, I think I'm bringing it into me. And it's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm already it. You're already it. All of us are already it. Right? And it wants us to communicate with each other. It wants us to be vulnerable with each other. It wants us to acknowledge each other. Let us be seen and heard by each other. Not be dominated and belittled for who we are. And when I cannot express my emotions because of my fears of seeming like I'm less than, then I'm just hurting myself and I'm hurting that space within me. And that's where the suffering begins. Because those emotions will start to eat away at my soul that I can't express. It eats away at this body, this beautiful body of mine that God has given me to be on this planet with. And so through my childhood and the things that I've experienced, it set me on my path of wanting to understand all of this. Wanting to understand how to communicate, how to be an effective communication. We call it compassion communication. I call it effective communication. Because when I choose to communicate in that way, I let people be seen and heard for their experience without any judgment. And whatever that person tells me is true, even if I want to disagree. It's true because that's their life. It's not my life.
And could you explain what was your path that you were able to now even realize when your communication is effective? So what was your progression from when you started?
Oh, wow. So I think since the beginning, when I came into this world, not being seen and heard. As a child, told to be something different. Who I am is not good enough. I need to be something other than who I am. which made me go inward, inward to myself, alienate myself from other people, and not see myself as good enough, because what I'm experiencing as a child, and this beautiful child that's in me, was something so divine. It was, there were no words for it. I was a gifted child. And my family didn't have the means of understanding because of what they went through and were going through in their own traumas. They didn't have the space to nurture it or love it, or, they were just trying to survive themselves. And so what that did for me is to go inward and trust that space in me more, because it always spoke to me. It always guided me. It heard me. I could have a conversation within myself. Some would say that's detachment or whatever it may be. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was speaking to God. It was just that plain and simple. We hear these voices that guide us, and we don't acknowledge it to be whatever you want to. It can be the universe, whatever you want to call it. But it speaks to us. It helps us, and it guides us on our path. When you go to take that step off that curb, and all of a sudden you pull that foot back, and then that car runs right by, you're like, whew, oh wow. Who is that? Why'd you do that? You're walking with your cell phone, and all of a sudden you know to look up, and right then and there's a branch. Who is that? We call that intuition. I call that God, because God is intuition. Me and you were having a conversation just today, right? And then in the middle of that conversation, hold on, call another person in.
Yeah.
Right?
And how fitting was it that she was exactly in that field, what we were talking about.
Right. Knew nothing about this individual. But that voice inside me said, call her back in here. Bring her back and sit with you guys. She's part of this conversation.
So it's about also learning again to trust these voices within you. Trust that whatever feels right for you is right as well.
Yeah. But only you know that. Only you know that. This is, you can take lessons on it, and there's ways of helping people to understand it. But ultimately, you have to trust that voice. And not shame and guilt yourself like, oh, something's wrong with me. Right? I'm hearing things. Yeah. I hear them all the time. Sometimes I act on, sometimes I'm like, nope. I'm not going to do that.
And why do you think many men disconnect from that intuition?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do disconnect from it. They just may perceive it to be themselves. I can't speak for other men. I can only speak for myself, right? And it took me a long time to really trust it and really hear it. And I've been doing this service. I've been in tune with it all my life. But it took me, I'll be 50 next month. It's taken me this long to really hear it as this way of...
Are you Cancer?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're also fellow Cancer. That's why we have such good conversations.
Absolutely, man. We're in touch with those. Our emotions is like water.
Yeah.
Right? Let's let it flow. But it's a development of just letting it guide you, like surrendering to it. And I've surrendered to it because it's always been right. And I love it. And this is how I know it's that universe or God presence, is because it will circle back around. If I ignore it,
It'll come back.
It'll come back, but it doesn't come back in this demeaning way or controlling way. It's always kind. Do you mind doing this? Can you do this? Or it'll just keep happening. It'll keep asking until I do it. And I go, okay, all right. And I do it, it stops. Right. And so it shows up however it shows up for an individual. And so I say, and why do men not, the question was, why do men
Not listen to this.
not listen to this? You know, I think they do listen to this intuition. I think we all listen to this intuition. We just have to realize what the intuition is. We try to make it something or something else. Because for me, it's just like, it's a knowingness. It's not some voice coming out going, hey, buddy, I need you to go do this and that. It's just a knowing. And it's just a knowing of something. The voice doesn't have a voice. It's just a knowing.
Yet it's very different from when it comes from the brain, though, because when we think things and that we want something, the voice that comes up has a little different quality than when it's from the heart.
Right.
I feel like the heart sometimes is very subtle and very, very gentle. Like as you said, God is kind actually when they talk to us or the universe, and the mind is often very like forceful. Like I need this now. This is like that.
Yeah.
And I think this is where a lot of men actually drift a little bit off, that they only listen to these strong voices and ignore these subtle, like gentle, loving voices. Like, how about you go? Yeah, but this.
Well, that's where we've been trained as men. Right? In these bodies that we're in right now, that's how men have been programmed to be. Like, we listen to that aggression. You know, we listen to the pleasure points of life, right? And the pleasure points of life are ego-based. You know, intuitive ways of life is based off the heart. It's based off of love. And, you know, how much can you open up to that love? I feel I've worked really hard in opening my heart and being loved.
What would you say were the challenges actually on that way to open the heart?
Oh man, wow. I wouldn't necessarily say it. So growing up as a child, I didn't get a lot of love. And what I wanted was to encounter people and let them know that they're seen and heard and loved. Right? So what I didn't get, I want to give. I have, my passion in life is to love people. I love loving people. However that may look for them. Without overstepping their boundaries. You know, just being with someone is loving. Just smiling at someone is loving. Opening a door for someone is loving. And then there's the times where you just need to really just love someone. Have conversation with them in a compassionate way. Let them be seen and heard, not told that they need to be something different or feel something different. Care for someone. Nurture someone. Be there for. Someone's sick, go take care of. And don't expect anything from it. You know, love is just love.
What would you say is love? How would you define it if there's one definition you need to give?
Oh, heck, man. If there's one, God. Love is God. Love is the universe. Love is universal. Love is language.
So it's also about understanding the language of the other person, what is loving for them. Because often when we do something in the name of love, we think because we love that person, but then we fail to actually see what is loving for them, what they need, what is their love language.
So I don't even think I need to see their love language, right? I just need to be present with them. They tell me everything they need. Like, as we have conversations, am I telling you anything? Or am I just present with you?
You're present.
Yeah, you tell me everything you need. I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding that space.
But doesn't that also require the other person have even like the desire to understand themselves? Because it's very different for us who really work on the connection with the heart. But what about people who don't necessarily intuitively listen to the heart and are able to be present?
Everybody needs love, brother.
Yes.
Everybody needs love, right? Like, even those who we may judge and say, you know, they don't listen to the heart. They listen to their heart, or they wouldn't be talking to us. We wouldn't be around them. Right? And God is within every last one of us. And God loves to have it, and loves to interact with itself. So the more we embody it, we become that space, the more we make it more comfortable for people to do so. Unconscious then. It's not a conscious thing that I'm opening my heart and I'm doing this and I'm communicating this way with you. It's a presence of a knowingness of a feeling that you know that that same thing that's in me is the same thing in you, and it wants to interact with itself. And it's going to give me what I need to be that presence for you so it can't interact with itself. You're not going to interact with someone you're not supposed to interact with when you're in that space. God will always protect. Now, you may think differently because we have projections and judgments of what that may be. I don't know if it was you I was talking to about, no, it was Gita, that one of my mentors told me that I'm selfish with my love because I want to judge who gets it and who doesn't.
You select.
You're selecting. Like, my ego is like, this person's worthy of my love. This person worthy. Oh no, you're a bad person. No one is good or bad. We're all just.
Well, that's coming from the mind when you select.
Yeah.
But the pure love just gives.
Just gives.
Just loves.
Jesus is gay. He never judged. Right? Buddha never judged. You know, Martin Luther King never judged. Amma never judged. By the way, everybody, we're here at the ashram here in India, visiting Mother Amma. Thank you, Mother. Thank you so much for allowing us, bringing us together. Om no Shivaya. Om no Shivaya, Mama. Thank you to have this conversation about man. And, the reason why we're here is to embody that Shakti energy of the mother love. I came here because I've never felt the love of a mother. And that's all I wanted from her, was to feel the love of a mother. And I feel complete. And the funny thing is, I've been here 6 months, and it took a little while before I could feel it. And that's what we do to our children. That's what we do to each other. When we don't get that love from our mother or father or family, where we have a distorted understanding what love is. That when we get around this kind of love, it's hard for the sympathetic nervous system to absorb it.
Yeah, for not the brain for not to come in and that this is not how I expected it, and it's that, or like trying to get something out of it instead of just being with it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time just sitting in the backstage close to Amma and just meditating, just feeling the space in my heart and like radiating. And it was all that I had to experience in that time. But then actually on the next day, I was judging this experience from like, but I don't know, is this really real? Or maybe I should feel something different? Or instead of just allowing it to be, like, yes.
Or judging and seeing other people be around her and they're like, hey, why am I not feeling like that? Why am I not all blissed out like that? I must be doing something wrong, right? Because we're just trained for that. We're trained to judge it because we grew up in a system of love that is non-existent. That is not love. Our family dynamics is not love, right? Our family is inherited. This is how we're supposed to love, and this is the way we love. None of us love the same. In that way, this love that we're experiencing right now. This is God's love, right? We're so blessed right now to be in God's love, because this is what real love is. And it's transforming us to understand, oh, okay, not the shit we grew up with. Not this manipulative love or, I give love to get love. Right? I do to give. Right? Or to get. Just the language that my family would use with me was not love. That was pain that they thought was love. This love that we're feeling,
It just is.
it just is. No matter what, she's going to love you. You can't do no wrong to her. She's going to love you. And she's going to heal you. She's not going to tell you you're wrong. She's going to give you the space to grow and still love you. But it's like a good mother. Sometimes you need a good little, hey, what'd I tell you? Because you need to wake up. And then there's sometimes like, I'm so proud of you. Because you did wake up.
And that requires flexibility of actually, when necessary, give a bit strength, when necessary, give comfort, and then be flexible with the emotions and the projection actually of, well, not projection, but we call it the output.
I'd say projection.
Yeah, of the projection of the love.
Yeah, your projection, this is what love is. Right?
In that moment.
In that moment, this is what love is.
Yeah.
And love varies. Love have different frequencies. Because what Amma, I feel, does is give you the opportunity to learn how to love. So you're going to be put in situations where we call them leadless. Right? Can you be compassionate? Can you see what you're doing, where your ego is not allowing you to experience love?
Just for clarification, the lila is the divine play of life, right?
Right. Divine play of life. It's just play. Right. But we and when you look at it, we're going through leelas every day in our life. Yeah, that person that makes you mad, that person is not trying to just make you mad to make you mad. They're just dealing with their life.
Yeah.
Right? And
It's maybe a stimulus, but the cause is something different.
Yeah, right. Like, can you be compassionate in that moment and not judge that person? Can you open your heart, or do you want to back at them and most of the time I want to right back at you. Right? Until I understood that this person is just another person suffering just like me.
It's funny actually, since I'm now on this path of trying to express my feelings from moment to moment, even what we had earlier when I was like, oh, I'm upset that you just didn't text me. But I wasn't aware that I didn't communicate clear. So I was upset by you not communicating to me. But unless I really start expressing from moment to moment what I feel, and then having this like kind smile, oh, you got the tripods, but that there was absolutely nothing that you were holding against me that I expressed that. Exactly what we had earlier today as well. When I expressed how I felt, you're like, okay, yes, thank you for sharing, and you hold that space. So it was okay for me to express it. But then you also made the look, but to be mad at me, did you make it clear? And I was like, oh, he's right. But I didn't feel embarrassed from it. I felt like, okay, yes, it was okay to say these things. And I feel this is really what's often missing nowadays, that we feel safe to express what people we love. And they just lovingly explain to you, look, but this is what I'm going through. And that two people can have a conversation and talk about, this is what I felt, this is what you feel.
Absolutely. And in that conversation that we had, did I at any point try to make you wrong?
No.
Did I judge you? Did you feel judged?
Absolutely no.
Did I validate your emotions?
Yes.
Okay. That is not how we were taught.
Yeah.
That is not how we're taught. Normally in that situation, the old me would have been like, but yeah, I need to justify myself.
Still, for clarification, we want to do this interview already 2 days ago. 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
And then it didn't work out because, we all have our things going on, and so it's Matrudas almost. Today's last day.
Yeah.
Last night. Yes.
Yeah, I leave in the morning. So there's,
Lots to do.
there's lots to do, and we were just missing on being effectively communicating, and really just nailing down the time,
Yeah.
right?
Making it set.
Making it sound like, okay, this is what's going on. It was just still willy-nilly in the air.
Yeah.
and so it just kept missing. He was ready and I was gone off doing something else, and and finally today he's like, I'm hurt that this doesn't happen, and he expressed that to me, and I acknowledged it. Okay, I asked him what he wanted out of it. I want you to give me empathy. I go, okay, you have it, because I understand, because we had set a time and he was sleeping. He overslept. And I just took that time and this went on, but I understand where he was coming from, because that's time that I had set aside. So I could relate, but there was something behind it. So when I do my work, share my work with people, what I have learned is that the initial point of what is going on that I get angry about, or judge, or project at someone, is not really what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
You always keep asking what's
behind that?
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's not what that person did. I reacted, and the reaction is usually your inner child. The inner child is the one that is reactive. It has been through everything that you've experienced in your whole entire life. This person right here is just experiencing this right here.
Yeah.
Right. But this inner child, man, he's been driving this ship for a long time, and doing inner child work, I've gotten to a point where I can ask that inner child, can I drive right now? Can you sit over here? It took a long time. But when something like that happens, I know right away that my inner child's back in the driver's seat. What is it that you need to be seen and heard? Where does it stem from? Where was the first time that it happened?
And unless we express that, we can never get there.
We can never get there.
Yeah. And of course, I feel often now that I'm trying to have this, like, okay, always express, always be truthful, I feel often embarrassed. I feel like, oh, okay, yes, he's right. Yes. Yeah. And to deal with that, even, this is,
That shows a lot of vulnerability on your part, right? Like, I can be wrong in front of this person who I projected something at. And to me, that's beautiful. That's beauty. That's love. That's self-love. That is self-love. We keep hearing this, love yourself. But I don't think we realize how much we love ourselves.
yeah.
We're doing this work. We love ourselves.
And what does it even mean?
What does all this mean when love yourself?
Yeah.
Things like that, right? Like, oh, I can be vulnerable in front of someone and admit that, oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it's like a little.
I don't want to. Doing the work that we're doing, choosing to be vulnerable, learn a different way of being, that's loving ourselves, because we don't like the way that inner child feels. And once again, I refer everything back to that inner child, because it's the one that's really feeling the emotions. This right now that we're talking with, I believe, is our higher selves. This body has the experience and the traumas and the generational, ancestral traumas held in it, right? So then there's that whole nother level but the one who activates all of that is the inner child.
Would you say that there is a correlation of the inner child being more connected to the feminine and the the adult self is more to the masculine. Because the adult does things. It's like rational. It's like
It's a doer.
This is right. It's a doer. And the inner child is a feeling. It's like
You could look at it like that, but I believe it's once again that divinity, right? Because the inner child does too. It's been doing the whole entire time. What you think you're doing right now. But it's the one that's been doing, like, who do you think was playing with the truck? Right? Go, ooh, it was doing, right? Who was the one getting their ass whipped? The inner child. Because they were reprimanded for something that they, someone deemed it did something wrong. It's been a doer. It's the one that wants to be validated, though. It's the one that wants to be acknowledged for those things happening. And that is the root cause of me being reactive right now. This person. The one that we say is a doer. Right? So, because it swings both ways. Like, sometimes it's what we call as a doer is feminine. Like, the moment you like one, you go, oh, God, right? Is that what we would call masculine? Or is it feminine? It's just divinity. You're just being humbled. Right? And once again, it's kind of like the good and bad. There is no good and bad because it's all unjust.
it's all an expression of God.
There's all an expression of God. You know, so to sit and say this is that and that is this, only God knows. We're just playing it out.
Yeah.
You know, and the more and more that I heal, the more and more I understand that, because there's more space that is created. And I want to touch on that. You know, this whole concept of being too sensitive, no, is a gift. It's uncomfortable, but it's a gift to be able to feel what the person across from you is feeling and not judge it. Right? And I'm guilty of it for quite some time. Like, I didn't want to feel people. Oh my God, I would hide. Thought I was doing something wrong. My whole healing process and learning most of this stuff was about so I can stop feeling people. I could protect myself.
And so you wanted to build up more boundaries and
No batteries and bottles, and you got to do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. So I did all this studying, shamanic, EFT. I mean, you name it, you know, Reiki. I mean, and I was studying probably 40 to 50 modalities. For like 10 years straight, I was just immersed. I was a junkie. You know, I would learn one thing and be off to the other one. And the funny thing was that I would learn all this stuff but never use it. It was just like it was something unlocking me.
But isn't it what Picasso also said? You learn all the techniques, then at least at the end, just not use any of them.
Just not use any of them, right? Because through the process of learning them, there was so much healing that happened, right? Because to learn it, you had to heal. You had to learn how to use it on yourself.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it. I'm like, oh, that little trinket. Then look at that gold trinket right there. I want to go learn about that, right? Starting to learn, you know, and so it started with the icebreaker of my healing was God. Hold on a minute. Let me come back to it. The eye movement. Let me come back to it because it's taking me someplace else. Just want me to talk about that one. Okay. All right. But my healing, it just started from one thing to another. And the more and more I did it, the more sensitive I got. And I thought I was doing something wrong. So I thought I needed to protect myself. And what I was wanting to protect myself from was feeling people. I didn't want to feel people's stuff. I didn't want to feel their suffering. Only to come find out that's what God wants you to do.
to experience the whole range of what it means to be alive, to have all these emotions, to go through this library of all of it.
But offer love to it. And instead of judging what you got going on, I just offer love and compassion to it. That's how you protect yourself. Only love can do it.
Then you see beyond actually what's beyond the preconception what you have about, oh, he's rude to me. It's like, no, just filter this through the heart, through love. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's just an divine expression of whatever it is, whatever had to be experienced.
I'd much rather that person have that moment on me because I can be present with it than to have it on someone else, and then it becomes this thing. Because you usually in the moment of it happening, they're compassionate with themselves. Because I don't try to make them feel something out.
Yeah.
You know, for the most time, I mean, I'm still working on myself. You know, but I can see the master plan of what the goal is, right? But there's some things that makes me reactive. You know, and I call it that 10-second rule. If I can hold it for 10 seconds, baby, I can hold that container of compassion and love. But if I can't, man, my inner child is like, you know, it just happened the other day. You know, someone was, they were right about something, but it was just the way that they spoke to me. It was very talked down to me, like, and it my inner child. And I was like, man, you're just so damn arrogant.
You said that.
I said that. It's like, you're so damn arrogant. You just can't even see or be present. And these conversations on. I'm like, no, man, you don't. And I had to stop. I had to stop because he's right. He's right. You know, because he goes, I asked him to, he had a situation with someone else. And that person didn't feel comfortable enough to go to him because, you know, they just didn't feel comfortable. And I knew him. And so this person asked me, would he be willing to process with me? And so I went to him and said, I'm not trying to get any business. But this person wanted to know, is it okay if he process with you? He just wants to learn why, how he triggered you so he can not do anything goes, well, you already made it about yourself. You're asking me this question. And I'm like, bro, and he's like, you know, snapped again.
I know what you're talking about.
And so I go, man, you're just so damn arrogant. And he goes, oh, boundary. No, we're not talking. I'm like, but he's right? Like, for me to project on him and call him an A. That was my inner child. Like, no, man, you're not going to talk to me like this. Where did that stem from? That's being told all my life that I can't have a voice. I can't communicate. But he was right. The moment I said, okay, I will go talk to him, I brought myself into it. Right? Because I want to be the peacekeeper. So he was right. And so rather me seeing him right, even in the moment when he said it, I knew he was right. But it was just the way that he was speaking to me. I couldn't, if he would have spoke to me in a kind voice, I felt, in a compassionate voice, rather than just, you know, angry, I'm better than you kind of tone of voice, I could have received it. I'd be like, you're right, man. Sorry about that. But just the way the demeanor about it came, it felt very, he was being arrogant. And it just came out before I could be like, oh. The 10-second rule is the 10-second rule. If you can hold it for 10 seconds, you can offer love and compassion. So I usually most people in that spectrum, they say, when someone asks you a question, take 10 seconds.
The 10 seconds can be long.
10 seconds is 2 breaths. Boom. It's not that long.
Yeah, true. It's not that long enough.
It's not that long, right? Like, why would you not give yourself that amount of time rather than be like,
Yeah.
like you know the answer right away, or even if you know the answer, collect yourself, collect your words. 10 seconds to collect your words. It's a very beautiful tool. But when I can't, I know it's I've been triggered. And I was very much triggered. And so then I go apologize. I'm like, you're right. But here was the beauty of it. I went back and I said, I want to apologize to you, which I usually very seldom. I usually say I want to be accountable. But in this situation, I needed to apologize because there was no reason for me to call him arrogant. Usually I would say I will be accountable for not doing such and such, but I called him a name. I insulted him. So, and of course he's like, you don't get to talk to me. I'll let you know when you can talk to me. I took 10 seconds. And I go, well, I want to apologize and I'll never happen again. And he said, bro, what I tell you? I don't care what you told me. I just gave you up. But what you do with that is what you do it back, because now you're reactive. Your inner child came out. Because you feel like you need to control the situation from someone apologizing to you. And I just walked away. Just like that. No beef, no anger or anything. And when he does what he does with it. But I stood in my power. I did not let him say how I could not speak. Or how I could and could not do it. I stayed in my own power rather than becoming reactive again, which is losing your power. Or giving in to his demands and losing your power. I stood in my power and I gave him something of compassion and love. And what he did with that was his own choice. Because of what that was about me, not about him. When we forgive someone, it's about us letting go of it. It's not about that person. Where we apologize and we ask for forgiveness. And once again, I'm going to say it's not about that person. We're forgiving ourselves. They just get to be the just of that situation. Send the act of love and compassion to ourselves. But this is my belief, this whole forgiveness thing, where you look at it like, oh, will you forgive me? Like they're going to give you some treat or something like, okay, here you go. Right? That forgiveness is so you let go of it instead of holding on. How many times has someone that something is just played on in you that you, wow, I wish that would never happen. And that person is not even freaking thinking about it. They have no clue. What are you talking about? That, man, don't worry about it. But it ate you up. It was just eating you up inside. Until you could get out like, will you forgive me? Because you needed to forgive yourself for that action. And when you forgave yourself for that action and verbally spoke it out, okay, all right. Okay, I feel better now.
And the way we treat others, that's how we treat ourselves.
Yes.
So if you treat the other person forgivingly, you actually speak to yourself.
You're speaking to yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just speaking to yourself. Because I am you, you are me. That is, we are all one. It's down. I just want to, this whole separation is the ego thing. And that's what keeps us from really being in harmony and love with each other. Right? Because I am you, you are me. Your suffering is my suffering. Your pain is my pain. Because I am you. And when I treat you that way, with that love and compassion, I'll treat myself that way. And as you heal, I heal. As you love, I love. It's much easier to love with someone who loves you, sees you, and identifies with you, rather than someone who once tried to love and that was like, oh, whatever that. Yeah, all right. It just turns you off, like, and then I become reactive, like, I'm just trying to love you. I'm just trying to be compassionate to you right now. And really, I'm just trying to give that to myself. So what's behind that? And I get to go look at that. Go look, what's really behind that? Matrudas, what's really behind that? Well, I didn't get a lot of love for it as a child. So I look for others to accept me and want to accept me and want to belong. And it can be that easy. When you're in tune, when you just let it happen organically, right? Because no matter what that person did, it's not about them. It's always about me. And that's not egotistical at all. That's compassionate. It's compassion for that person in front of me. It's compassion to myself. They just helped me to see something I didn't want to see. And that's the beauty of being human and the divinity. Because God is always going to put the mirror in your face. It's whether you want to see it or not. Or do you want to project it? Be like, get that out of my face. Project that back at them. Look what you made me do. I love when people say, you made me mad. I do want to laugh at them. I do. I so do when people say, you made me mad. And inside, I'm laughing. I may even put that like, half like little cheek up a little something.
Not to make them snap completely, you hold it.
Like I'm trying to hold it in. And I'm like, so what do I do to make you mad? Well, you did such. I'm like, do I have that kind of power over you? Because if I do, I don't want it. I really don't want that kind of power over you. I want you to choose if you want to be mad at me or not. Usually I'll stop and think. But did you see the power in those words? I gave it all back to you to let you know that you're in power of yourself, not me. And I don't want that kind of power over you. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. Because that's what you do when we say, you made me bad. You give me your power. And no one deserves that but yourself and God. Yeah. This world that we live in, man, it's about the communication. And how do you communicate? How can you help others communicate with themselves? Because I know myself, I know how I am. I am, which is the divinity within me. The more I communicate and hear myself, the more I stand in my power, I learn about the I am in me. But when I give it away, which I've done pretty much all my life, some had to give. I think early in the conversation said, how did you learn this communication? Because I had to I had to choose. And I chose to let go of someone I loved so much that I would do anything for her. She was my best friend, my lover, my wife, my mentor, my guru. But I was too busy trying to please her and make her happy. Make her happy. How does that sound? I need to make you happy.
Codependent.
Yeah, right? These words. And that was my childhood. Remember how I wanted to make my mom happy. I didn't want her sad. I didn't want her depressed. I didn't want my wife sad or depressed. I thought I had power that I could do that. I had that kind of ability. So I would do whatever I felt I needed to do, which only pushed her further away, made her more angry. Then it came a time where, I had to choose. Do I want to continue my path with Source, or do I want to continue to go through this suffering that I put myself through because I'm not fully understanding? The Source has never lied to me, regardless if I have to give up what I've loved. First time even that I've experienced love. We were together for 11 and a half years, a total of 12. And that woman taught me how to communicate after we divorced. Because I went back and I looked at all the nuggets. I call them the golden nuggets. So you can go back and you can look at the situation and you can find what it is that is yours, that you did wrong. You can't blame another person. You can, if you want to. I chose not to. Because I'm only responsible for my stuff. Whereas in a relationship, I felt like I was responsible for my stuff, her stuff, her kids' stuff, our kids' stuff, everybody's stuff. Right? The white knight coming in on my horse, like, giddy up, baby. Here I am. What's wrong? Let me fix it. Nothing's broken. We're not broken. There's nothing wrong with this.
Isn't that also a form of respect? Is actually not to try to fix the other person, but because by trying to fix the other person, you implement that something's wrong with that person.
Right.
So something has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I was hurting her a lot. I was really hurting her a lot. Because I thought I needed to make her happy. I needed to fix her. And it was my own trauma that I was trying to fix.
That's where the codependency comes. Like, we do something good for the other person because we think we do something good for them, but actually what we do is we do good for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we feel we're the knight in the White Horse coming and save the day.
Yeah, right. It's very hard to see yourself unless you get really trained at it. We need each other. We need to reflect back to each other. That's why this brotherhood that you, me, Chini, and Cam got is so beautiful, because we can reflect back at each other. When we ask questions. It's not like, oh man, that's messed up, man. I can't believe that happened to you. No, why did it happen to you? We talk to each other. How do you feel about that? Okay. What do you need right now? What do you need right now? Someone asked me what I need?
How confusing that sometimes is, right?
Like, what do you mean what I need? I mean, no one's really asked that. What do you mean what I need? What do I need? I need to think about this for a while. Right? Because that's compassionate communication. That's effective communication to each other. Don't try to fix it, brother. What do you need right now? How can I support you? Do you want me to reply? And that's the other one. Do you want me to reply, or do you just need to be heard? How many times I know women in my life have said, I just want you to hear me. But at that time, I didn't understand what that meant. Okay, so what do you want me to do? I give them a reply. That's not what they asked. They effective, and they, before they even talked, said, I need you just to hear me.
Just be present.
Just be present with me, right? I wasn't having that shit. Like, let me fix it. I'll make it right. I'll make you right, right? I hear them now. I truly hear them. And so when I hear people, period, and they're speaking to me, and they tell me how they're feeling, what's going on, okay, is there more? I always ask, is there more? Because we're so used to cutting people off and putting our 2 cents in there that people don't usually finish what they're expressing, what they feel. So even in that pause and in that silent moment, goes there more? Usually you'll know. But, and they keep going. And then I'll say, is there more? But sometimes they'll keep going.
Did you feel that people sometimes get triggered by it?
Some people get triggered by it because they think I'm being, what my daughter said it best. Dad, you're just being sarcastic. I hate when you're being sarcastic. And no, Brittany, it's actually a form of non-aggressive communication. Whatever. And it took my daughter some time because she's usually, I'm dad. I used to be like, let me tell you, girl, I'm your dad. I know. But I stopped doing that. And I would just say, is there more?
So what was the timeline from, because I remember you telling me that you were this dad who was influenced by male figures which were not really, I don't want to say not healthy, but more like in this toxic masculinity. So you were influenced by that. Then you had a child. And how long did it take you until you started to make that turn into become more compassionate? And
so I think I always was compassionate, but I was a traumatized dad. Don't let me misconstrue it.
yeah, maybe not compassionate the right word, but more aware of exactly these things. So not talk into
teenage years, right? I think it was more in the teenage years, in the later part, not in the beginning, because I was still a traumatized man. I was still learning myself. So the beauty of my kids getting to see their dad transform into who I am now, compared to who they grew up with, has been amazing. So any of you fathers out there choosing to heal when your children are young is a beautiful thing because they get to see that it's okay to heal. It's okay to go through all this because it's not pretty. Because you're unraveling all that you've ever learned, all ancestrally that you learned, all generational that you learned, all culturally that you've learned. And our kids are the ones that suffer the most about it, right? When we choose not to try something different and heal our wounds. Because we tend to take it out on them, especially our children. Because we put these expectations and judgments on them that they should be a certain way. And it's usually from our own traumas. So when we choose to heal, we get to unravel that and they get to watch us and they get to know that it's okay to be present with what's going on with you and learn a different way of being. So not only do you get to heal yourself, but you get to set up the future generations of your ancestors to have a ability to be compassionate and loving and truly have a loving family. Not saying that what you have right now is not loving, but if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure that there's something going on with you that you would like to bring more compassion to. And when your kids can see you doing it, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, because then they start to develop it too. And I say, oh my gosh, because it was a God's gift for me to have to go through what I had to go through, for them to be able to know that it's okay. to heal. They don't have to accept and push all these emotions down.
Wow. But that takes courage.
It takes courage.
So much courage.
It takes courage.
To admit that you weren't right at some point.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be the dad.
Supposed to be dad. I'm supposed to be dad. And I was, man, going through this, it was very traumatic because some of the healing I would do with this make me worse for a little while. Right? Because we were talking about this. Being human beings, we are designed to destroy and recreate. And when you destroy and recreate who your identity is emotionally, whoa, you're unraveling since the beginning of time. Okay, just because we're in these bodies don't mean we are these bodies. We are souls who never die. So when we choose to heal, we're healing from the beginning of the time of essence on this earth. And for those of you who believe this or not, we are souls who never die. And we've been on this earth. Some of us have been on it longer than others. But we're living lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And when we start to choose to heal, it may seem like you're healing something right now, but you're healing from the beginning of time. So there's this huge unraveling that is so beautiful, but can be sometimes so painful and vulnerable. And when someone can watch you go through it and you come out the other side, there's this proudness that happens. And my children gave that to me. And they're like, Dad, I'm so proud of you. Right? Because in the beginning, they just thought I was freaking crazy. You know, talking about chakras, meridians, past lives, sensitivity goes, and teaching them how, you know, how to be present in this energy body. You know, because no one spoke like me. Other dads weren't speaking like this to their kids. You know, I would, instead of saying thing, I would say feel. How does that feel to you? Can you feel the energy of that? You know, where do you feel that? I would teach them that, you know, you trust your gut, not your thinking. Trust your gut. That's your first brain. You know, because telling them trust your heart. Oh, Dad, what does that mean? I remember telling them, what does that mean? So I'd say, just trust your gut. If you do something, you got to, you know, if your gut starts acting up, listen to it. So in essence, I was telling them to listen to their heart, but tell them listen to God. Right? So I taught them about the energy bodies and things like that at a very young age. Because I was going through my whole metamorphosis of changing right in front of their eyes. So he went from seeing their dad, who was a very traumatized, angry, freaking angry man, to evolve to be this compassionate, loving man. But I was an angry, loving, compassionate man, right? And it was just this anger at myself. Because I was so hell-bent on not being what my family was, what society said I was, that I held myself on this freaking to the max. Like, you can't do this, you can't be. I couldn't make a mistake. And I was so angry at that, all the stuff I had to go through that I inherited, all the things I went through as a kid, right? But in turn, I was trying to be something else without healing those wounds. So here I'm being loving and compassionate, and then something happened, I become reactive. My inner child was like, rah! But I was just so loving and compassion, right? And my kids were a big part of that, because they said, Dad, it's being around you sometimes like walking on eggshells. And I'm like, oh, I know what that feels like. I did it all my life. I need to change that. I need to fix that. I need to fix that. I'm sorry. Best thing I ever did was apologize for being the father I was. And listening to my kids and not telling them that, no, it's because I was this or making some excuse, or you don't understand adult business, regardless of the situation. It is not my place. I should never have made them feel like they were walking on eggshells, or any of the things I did. I was a good father, but I was a bad father. I was a good father, but I was a bad father.
You've done your best.
I was doing my best. But sometimes I didn't let my kids just be kids. My reaction wanted them to be something different. Like I wanted to be something different. So I'm going to make sure your life is something different.
Right. So you couldn't just let them be the way they are.
I couldn't let in certain situations, I couldn't let them be because of my traumas. Like, I need you to be this certain way. You got to watch out for yourself. I took their innocence from them. Like, you got to watch the world. The world's a dangerous place. You know, I made that world dangerous for them. Yeah, we can teach our kids how to be aware, to be knowledgeable about the things in the world, but we don't have to put fear in it. And then reprimand them when they make mistakes. I felt like I was pretty good about that, though. You know, but there would be moments I would just like, I would just snap because I was just so overwhelmed.
So what would you say would be the right way of like creating this awareness for the kids?
Let kids be kids. Let them make mistakes. Let them make mistakes. Let them make mistakes over and over again. I used to tell my kids, I'll let you make the same mistake 3 times and then I have to intervene. Because you're not getting the point.
Is that applicable also for the universe and the lessons we have in our life? Do we get those 3 times until
Yeah, like the universe until you learn, it keeps happening, right?
Yeah.
So why the hell are we expecting a kid to be right on the giant spot and know it?
Yeah.
Right? Don't do that, brother.
I told you already, why are you still
Why
doing
are you still doing that? I would say to him, did you learn from it? Yeah, okay. Let's say it again, did you learn from it? Yeah, okay. Did you learn from it? Yeah, okay. Where did you learn? Because you're still doing it. I want you to go over there and think about it. I didn't beat my kids, but my anger did it enough.
emotional abuse?
There was emotional abuse, even though I thought I was being loving and compassionate. But my anger, my self-anger, hatred of myself at that time period, because I thought I should have been doing something else. I should be a better father. Yeah, they felt that. They felt that.
I had once this conversation with a friend of mine who just had a baby, and she's really worried that she's stressed right now and that she might traumatize her child and everything. And then it came to me that, well, regardless of what, the child will have trauma. But because she's aware of it, that she wants to resolve that, actually what she does is, yes, she traumatizes her child maybe with that, but then together they can look at these emotions and resolve them. And I think this is what we do in really healing relationships. Something comes up, some trauma which we have, and in the presence of the other person, with this love that we can bring these emotions up to the surface, just look at that together until it just resolves by itself. So I think it's beautiful that you have traumatized the children this way, because you have traumatized them and you have resolved it with them. You have held the space for them. It's much better than being traumatized by something else external in the outer world, but then not being able to resolve it.
Yeah, yes.
And regardless what, just coming into this earth traumatizes us.
Just being here.
Yeah, having the slap at the beginning when you have to breathe and you don't breathe as a child. You know, these things. We all have traumas. Maybe this is also the game of life. Get traumatized and resolve it.
Right. You know, absolutely. Because it's going to happen. None of us, we're all traumatized. We're all traumatized. You know, like what you said, birth itself is traumatized.
And that's why we cry. It's real.
No, we are here not again. No, you lied. So lied. You said it was a slide. It was a slide. Oh, I was just playing with my friends up there. Oh God. Put me back in, right. But think about it, you know, this child is in this wound, and a lot of studies have been done on it about birthing traumas and how it really affects us in our life. Like if you were forcept out, you know, if you had a C-section, if you were late, you know, if you got stuck, if you have an umbilical cord, if you didn't breathe right away. Like, birth is a freaking trauma that really affects us in our life and how we react in life. You know, yeah. So this whole thing with trauma. But I want to circle back to, you asked me when did I really develop this with my children. It was the universe gave me an opportunity to come back to them when they were in college to look at our relationship. You know, and so I eliminated being a dad in myself and became a mentor. I didn't, it didn't come in like I'm your dad. Because when I left my wife, I went homeless. I had a successful business, had a beautiful home on Country Club Plaza. You know, I made it. Like, I was wearing suits. I had everything I could ever want, and it wasn't enough. So I ended up having to choose. And when I chose, I went homeless. And the universe made sure I had everything I needed while I was home. I had food on the table. I had a place to stay. I mean, we talked about it. It's craziest thing. I had abundance more than I've ever had abundance because I surrendered. And part of that was it took me around the United States. I was living in a different place all the time. And in each one of those spaces was a healing. And then it's circling back around to heal my kids. Their childhood traumas with their father. Except I eliminated being a father and I chose to listen to them. That this is what it was like. A few years before that, when I had all that stuff, they were trying to have these conversations with me, but I was justifying it. Well, you didn't understand what it was like to have to pay bills, and you know, my children, I had them with their mother that I divorced. She was my first wife, and this person that I was with at this time was my third wife, and they were trying to have these conversations with me. I would just justify my actions, shut their emotions down, or, you know, you just don't understand. I was going through a lot. Or I would hear them, but then devalue their vulnerability of communicating what they were going through. And so I learned this process. And so when circling back around, I had to heal that trauma. Like, I'm actually hearing you. Because they were like, roo, 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 and they were waiting. They were just waiting. And I'm like, thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me when you're ready?
Where's that coming from?
Right. What are you talking? Who are you? Right. And it was very beautiful. Because I could see my kids the way I wanted to be seen. I wanted my parents to be able to do that to me. My mom to be able to do that to me. Mom, this is what happened to me. And I remember when I stopped doing those things to my mom, because my mom was like, don't come at me about that. We all have shit. Why are you always bringing that stuff up? Because I'm freaking hurting, Mom. So to have that conversation with my children and hear that, and not try to make them feel like I'm not present with them to absorb what they're expressing to me emotionally, disvaluing their emotions, and then giving them the space to be in that anger and resentment, and not expecting to be something else. Like, I expect you to be angry. I will be angry at myself too. Thank you for communicating. Is there more? Do you want me to communicate? Do you just want to be heard? Or do you want me to comment? Now I just want you to hear me. And she'll crop it out about so many seconds later. But so why did you do that? Right? They wanted to see if I was going to honor that. No, I just want you to hear me. Okay. Thank you. So why did you do that, Dad? Why did you do that?
And then they're receptive actually to even
To hear me.
getting that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was and I just be honest. I was a child. I was a traumatized child, and I was just doing my best at the time. I didn't understand how this is really affecting me. But at the time, I was just doing my best. This person here is not the person that was there. I worked through a lot, and you see me do it. Or yeah. I'm proud of you, Dad. Thank you. Like to hear your kids say they're proud of you for healing. Oh my! I don't care what the rest of the world thinks, because I just stopped it from happening to another generation.
Wow. Yeah.
Can't do anything with this up here, but I can do what comes in its row. You can't. It's harder for an old dog to learn new tricks, but it's easier for a puppy to. Right. But I can appreciate that old dog because of that old dog. I'm where I'm at. They created what they created for me to get here, and I get to praise something for them to have to get to where they to. Without myself, I get to do it without any attachments, because I'm aware of what attachments are. I don't say and do these things for them or to learn effective communications to get anything out of it, other than for that person across me to be seen and heard. And they can be blazing mad at me all they want. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. I appreciate you for being vulnerable right now to express your anger at me. And what you went through is exactly what happened.
Maybe just quick, I just want to double check that it's all recording.
Yes. Yes, it's also recording. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, brother. Like,
It's really funny that you now start to talk about these things, because whilst you were just like half an hour before sharing about your children, I thought, oh, I would love to ask him, like, so what are his thoughts? How can we raise the new generation? I feel like actually I don't even need to say anything. I just need to think it and then just go there.
yeah, so that part. You know, like you were talking earlier, how did I know to pull her in to the conversation? You know, we don't, these extrasensory ways of communication that we kind of do not want to believe that it's possible to telekinesis. Right? Like, yeah, I hear people say, do I like it? Hell no. But I learned how to shut it down, and I know when to open it up. We don't need to, this is not the only formal way of communication. How do you know someone wants something when you just go, hey, how about doing that? Oh, I was just thinking that. And we just go, right? Because we don't put the value in it, like, I really can do that. And I really can't do that. It was freaky with me and my wife. Like, before she can get out a word, I was saying, she's like, oh, I hate when you do that, but I love it. But it also caused me to want to, because I could feel her agony and pain in her mind. And I wanted to bring peace to it. So learning to have boundaries with it. You know, in a conversation, if you think it, I need to know it, God's going to give it to me, rather me going in there looking. That's the boundary, right? But if God wants me to know, God's going to give me it too.
Can you repeat that again? I'm not sure if I followed.
So if I use my ability to utilize telekinesis, right, and just go in searching for things, that's boundaries. I'm breaking your boundary. I'm not honoring your boundary.
Right.
But if that what you want to know pops up, comes over here, and the guy's like, "Hey, talk about this," wants to know about that. That's not me. That's not me abusing my gift. And so I say this because a lot of times we get caught in these ways of thinking, and it's not even our thinking, it's not even our thoughts. Because these thoughts are like out there. And being open people the way we are, like I said, the more you heal, the more sensitive you become. And with that sensitivity comes these awareness of thoughts to come and start.
Would you say you are almost able to just like distinguish, okay, I want to be receptive to these thoughts now. I want to be receptive to these thoughts, or I want to be receptive to the frequency.
I want to be receptive to my own thoughts right now. I just want to be receptive to my own thoughts. And I know my thoughts well enough that when something does come in, I'm like, I ask swords to remove all other people's thoughts and imprints. So that I can just get with what I need.
Is that what you do on a regular basis?
Regular basis.
It's like a cleanup, just sweeping the floor. Yeah,
You go take a shower, right? Why would you not clean your brain? Why would you not clean your energy field?
I think that was something that I struggled with the spiritual practices or healing. So it was like, well, we're all healing all the time. We're healing. But why are we still all traumatized? I was thinking that I healed once and then it's gone.
No.
But I wasn't aware of that. Actually, it's maybe not even like healing, like because if you cut yourself, your wound will close up again. But also more like a releasing. 'Cause you just need to keep releasing. It keeps accumulating and you release again. Accumulates and release again. Some things have accumulated a big pile, and it just really is time to get that on the dumpster. But some are just like little things, just like garbage, which is you just need to close the bag and get it out.
Yeah, and it's an onion. And what is getting activated right now, you have lifetimes of that shit. So I look at like this as timelines, like there's multiple dimensions of this. Okay. And when one of those dimensions figures something out, then the rest of them go. And you go, oh yeah, okay, I figured it out. And then it comes back with a roar, like, whoa. I'm like, I just dealt with this shit. What is going on? Well, you figured it out, so you can process it. And this is lifetimes of this, that this has happened. Now you get to process all this lifetime. So this onion, you just pulled off the initial layer of, okay, oh, eyes burning. Feel my eyes burning. And by the fourth or fifth, you're like, why am my eyes still burning? It's because it's a freaking onion. There's layers to this. It's not just one lifetime. This didn't happen right now, right? But the more you go through it, initially, somehow, some way, your eyes stop burning. And you just become more compassionate with the onion. You can chop the onion. Matter of fact, stop the light chopping onions. And we just deal with it. It's okay.
And then you learn little tricks. You put it in water first, you soak it. It's not gonna burn so much. Or if you put water in your mouth, it might not burn either.
Yeah.
But
give yourself 10 seconds. You give yourself a couple breaths before you start to learn how to deal with it, because it's not going to go away.
No. And sometimes just gonna
It's just sometimes it's going to freaking burn. Can you just be with the burn? Can you just identify the burn and let it burn? Sometimes we just need it. This path that we're on of healing, like I said, usually we start off because we want to fix it. And then we understand, at some point you understand it's not going to go away. You're going to be doing it to the day you die. Some of us. You know, like the old school has become more of the teachers, but they're still healing because they're teachers. They just use it in a different way. Right? But they know they're going to continue, and at some point it's not so intense. But on this path of the spiritual path, it's freaking intense, man. Like, I've been here for almost 6 months. I feel like it's been lifetimes. I am definitely not the person who I came here as. And I don't even know who this person is that's leaving tomorrow. That's how intense this is. For people who call it, I'm just going to say this to people out there, you gentlemen. When you go on this path and you think you're going to go to an ashram or a temple and stay for a while and everything's going to be all right, you're going to get all blissed out. No, you're going to a spiritual hospital. Okay, you're going to the ICU of hospitals for spirituality. Anything and everything that you need to be present with that you've been hiding from, it's going to come out and it's going to be burning. And you're going to go through a lot of it because it's called a purification. When you find your guru and your guru accepts you, it's about purifying your soul. And so you go through things. The vasanas is what they call them. You know, your way of being in life that is not serving your person. Lusting, your angers, your judgments, your control. All these things that are happening in the ways you do those, it comes out and you get to be present with it. And it's exhausting. But it's the most beautiful thing because it transformed you. 6 months here is like going through lifetimes. I'm serious. Of healing. And you become someone different. You become more of who you want to be. Or who you already are. It's not who you want to be. You become more of who you already are. And you let go of all these ideals and beliefs and judgments of who you think you should be. So what you said is kind of accurate. You know. And when we do this, we become better for humanity because we become the version of our true selves that we already are. That allows others to try to choose that for themselves as well. And then we meet beautiful people that help us a long way, like Edgar here, Chini. We all came together at the right time, but we all were in search of the same thing, like connecting with brothers who we can be bond with, have conversation with, and be seen and heard without being judged or trying to be something other, you know. And and this is how divine it was. I just got to tell the story. You know, I invited Chin and Cam to lunch, and I was doing something. I was running late. Matter of fact, it was like 15, 20 minutes late. And then Edgar walked up about the 15-minute mark, right? Yeah. Was talking to Chin and Cam, and, you know, something that said, hey, what are you doing right now? Well, I knew what was said in, but, you know, invited him to have lunch with us, and we'd had this amazing, beautiful conversation about man and feelings and what it's about. And we all had similar opinions, but some of us had, but we had different opinions. And so we got to consciously express how we felt without judging the other person for it, and allowing that person to be who they were being without trying to say, no, that's not right, or it needs to be this way. We truly understood that each one of us is a uniquely different person, and whatever's working for us, it's working for us. Yeah. And it really just opened us up to go, I've been looking for this all my life.
We've been talking with Shinya about having a man circle, and we're like, man, I would love to have a man circle, and then it just happened organically.
Organically.
Beautiful man circle, and we didn't choose to sit with the other girls at the table, and I think that was very beautiful because then we just had that man energy and just felt safe. Like, look, this just man having an open heart.
And I thought that was funny because initially we were like, oh yeah, we're going to sit with the girls. Like we went over there and sat, and then something in me said, I'm just going to sit over here.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, you can. I'm like, do you want us to? I mean, because we will, and we just sat, left it alone. Like that which is in us knew that, no, this is something big.
This feels right, yes.
This is something big that was about to happen here. And that means you guys be focused, not distracted by the pretty girls, you know, and just pay attention. Yeah. And it has organically happened. And ever since then, every day has been like that. You know, we've encountered each other, you know, we've been going to get acupuncture at the same place. And, you know, afterwards, instead of leaving, we're sitting there at the table and we're having these organic conversations all over again and expressing each other and letting each other be seen and heard. And it's a beautiful bond that we have. I guess the reason why I'm saying this is that, you know, when you ask the universe for something that is very important to yourself, you're going to get it. And when you ask the universe for things that's not so good for you, you're going to get it. So be careful what you ask.
You might get it.
You just might get it, you know. But especially in this time of change, you're going to get what you because we're all in evolution, whether you like to admit it or not.
Yes.
Too. Just like I'm on the hold. Like for a while I was like, I hope I did the backup. Now I can relax again.
Thank you.
Relax into the change of the life.
Thank you for, you know, doing what you need, not feeling like, wait a minute, I need that. You know, yeah, but we're all going through humanity's going through evolution right now.
I think right now is such an important time. I don't know, did I talk to you about the concept of that we never had this time that man actually sit like this around. Like since we were cavemen and we had to be out there and provide for the family, and then we had civilizations and empires and kingdoms, and we played this whole conquering game, and then World War One, Two, we had to rebuild cities, the economy had to just be stabilized.
Yeah.
Like humans were going crazy, but now because of capitalism, which connected us all and was like this beautiful connection, but now it's going a little bit out of hand because it's just growth. Now we start to think, okay, now we are all connected. Now we have the internet. Now AI is coming up and can actually process all this data which we create. Where are we going? And I think now men have the ability to reshape their old patterns and actually come into something new and sit around in circles and ask about feelings and how do we deal with the feminine? How do we integrate women in our lives?
Yeah. Excuse me for the yawn. First, I just want to acknowledge that what we're doing right now is nothing new. There's been man circles for quite some time on this planet. That have been working with men expressing their feelings. There's a Mankind Project.
What the name?
There's there's church circles that men go to, right? There's I love this. There's, even though they may not realize it, but like men who've been in war, who get together and they talk about what happened. It's a form of expressing your emotions and let yourself be seen and heard by other men who understand. So we're not doing anything that is new. What we're trying to express for ourselves is that how we want that to look. And for ourselves, how as empaths and sensitive people, we express our way of being. Because those of us that we're speaking of are all HSPs, which are hypersensitive people. And what a hypersensitive person is, we feel very deeply. We feel that we're empathic. We feel other people's emotions. We feel the land. We feel the earth. We feel the collective traumas that are going on. We feel all that. And there's never been necessarily anyone talking about that, talking about these subjects. And we're on this healing path of healing ourselves, which is also healing our ancestral lineage, our generational lineage, the collective energies. We're talking about how we feel energies, and letting it be expressed, that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with us. We don't need medication. This is normal. It's been around since the beginning of time. No one's really talked about it. And I'm going to go back. They used to talk about it before pre-industrial times. This is a way of being, right? So then in pre-industrial times, we don't want to talk about that. We're manufacturing things. You just get out. You just focus. Let's build. But civilization back in the primitive times, these all things were used. Shoppers, meridians, nadis, acupuncture. Ways of being, talking about the energy system. You can look at each culture, no matter where you're at in the world, they had these energy systems, right? And they spoke about it. These traditions somehow, some way got lost or was taken from us to look at the world in a different way. And now we're coming back to them because we're evolving into that more. As we are healing, we're becoming more of the true self, which is pure energy, not these molecules and this body. We're becoming more energy. And so we feel more of it. And no one's, from a man's point of view that I've seen, usually we're talking about it. And it's so funny because most of these man groups, they talk about it and they figure out ways, techniques to let go of that energy, but they don't want to talk about the energy. Where does that energy really come from? That's God, divinity, universe. Leave all that stuff out. What's behind the end? Chakras, meridians, nadis. We're holding it in our bodies. Let's really talk about what's going on. How do you do it? Educate people on that. Because then you do, they go, oh, yeah, it makes sense. Right? And if it makes sense, I feel for myself, it was as I started learning all this stuff and these new modalities, I began to be more kinder and gentle to myself because I understood what I was going through is so much more than just me. It's not all me.
Right.
Right? Like, I feel that person over there. And I'm taking that shit on. And I'm really realizing it. And as a child, I would act it out, right? And as an adult, what do you think I want to do? I'm going to act it out somehow, some way. I remember, and this was the most cruel. I went to a friend's house whose husband had just died. And she was an older lady, and I went to go help her do some stuff. Out of nowhere, I started drinking bourbon. I didn't drink alcohol. I started drinking bourbon. Started doing those behaviors just because that's what he used to do. Well, it's his freaking house. His energy is all over the place. I'm a sensitive. So not being aware of this because I wasn't thinking about this, but if I was in any other place, I'd be aware of it because it's like, okay, watch yourself. When I'm sleeping there, helping her out, I'm not thinking about it because it's just wasn't on my mind. And also I'm like, that's my bird. Man, I smell it was smoking some weed. And not to say I didn't smoke weed at the time, but not like that. Like I was waking up like, yeah, we'll go work in the yard. You know, I'm gonna get some bourbon later. Like, now who is this guy? And energetically, some things are happening, and then I go, whoa, okay, all right, wake up call. But that was me understanding my energy, psychologies, and then my modalities, my shaman work. That, oh, this is what has energies here. He's still here. All right, gotcha. You're aware of that. You know, you don't always have to be in this, let me channel this person. Sometimes they can, the spirits that is right there next to you, you know, and they're just like, and if there is any part that they can get in to exist, they would exist. We don't talk about this stuff though, right? Right? Like, how many times have you been drunk and you do some crazy shit? And you're like, I don't understand why I did that. Well, because ghosts like to hang out at bars. And when you drink, it lets those beings have way at your body. Because you disassociate, you start to move out of your body. And when you move out, they move in. Right? And then all of a sudden, you just smash drunk. And you do some crazy stuff that you normally wouldn't do. Then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Right?
The fact that it wasn't you who did that.
Right? Like, oh, I did that. Okay. And so when I learned about this, I started looking to a point now, you're not getting me close to a bar. You're not getting me close to a bar at all. No. I started watching what I put in my system because, like, if you're going to smoke weed, that's okay. But do you need to get blitzed? Because when you get blitzed, you let other beings in your body. Right? Well, if you take a couple of smokes, that's medicine. But if you have an ache or something like that and you take one painkiller, you're usually okay. But when you take 5 or 6, things start happening. You just don't talk the way you once talked, right? The same thing is about marijuana. I'm not judging anybody because I smoked a blunt like anybody else until I really started getting sensitive enough to affect these things affect me and be aware of the things that will happen. Right? And once you become aware, you cannot be unaware. And whether you believe it or not, that's on you. I know what happens to me and what I've seen. You know, that I choose not to do that. I'm not shaming the guilt of anyone because trust me, I would like to. I miss having a nice drink, you know, but if I do, I'll just have a beer. You know, I cut it off at 2 beers, period. No, my body won't let me have any more. And the wife's like, you ain't letting no shit get in here. And I tried, but back in the day, man, I used to drink with the best of them. But I used to do some crazy stuff that I could not explain. And that's just part of my gift. Shit, I'm just going to blame that because I channel. So that's part of my gift, is being able to channel other beings, but usually there's boundaries with it. And when you're intoxicated, there is no boundaries. Right? But they know you're receptive. And once they get in there, they can stay in there too. Anger is another one. Oh my God. Shall we talk about that one? Right? Like,
Like some tea for that stuff. Let's do it.
anger, like, so these lower forms of energies, like anger, rage, and lust attracts other beings that can have their way with you. And I'll tell you about innocence for myself. I was a very angry young man, and but I didn't necessarily act it out on people as much, right? Like I wasn't violent with people unless I felt like injustice was happening. And a friend of mine came to me and she was crying, oh, Johnny, such and such did this. And just the fact to see her cry, I was just so angry, but it wasn't about her. It was just the anger at me, right? But I took it to a whole nother level because I was just like fuming. I was just like rageful because I watched my mom get her ass kicked a lot by other men. So for me to see a woman get abused is really something traumatic for me. And our career is like I'm walking down the hall trying to find this guy, and then I saw him, and I didn't see anything else. I blacked out. I came to my genital born, Reggie, man, what did you do? What the hell did you just do? I beat this kid so bad. He ended up getting a metal plate in his head. And I had no recognition of it at all. None at all. Like I'm like coming to like, man, what are you talking about? But seriously. And then it's something that I really felt bad for a long time. And I was working with this beautiful healer, and she goes, did it ever occur to you that a demon took over your body? And I go, no. She goes, anger is one of the ways that they can get into you. They feed off that stuff. They feed off your fear, your anger, your rage, your sadness, your depression. But it was a gift from God. You can't know until you're ready to know, right? And accept it. So then I started looking at this stuff. I'm like, well, I'm looking at people, I'm going, oh, right, that's not you. Something's feeding off of you. They can't exist unless they can feed off of some energy source. So if you hold on to this anger and this rage, it can attach itself to you. Does this mean that you've done something wrong? No. You didn't do anything wrong, but we need to acknowledge that this shit exists. Because you know if it exists and it recognizes this, then you can do something about it. But when we act like, I'll never forget this, and I forget where it came from, but one of the best tricks the devil ever made us believe was it didn't exist. But we know it exists, right? The Bible, the religions talk about this stuff all the time, but we act like it doesn't exist. And if we bring it up, man, you're just crazy. Dude, it's in the freaking Bible. It's in the Quran. It's Buddha talks about it. Hindus talk about it. It's in all these ancient texts about this stuff, and we're here like, no, this stuff doesn't exist. It can't exist if we're aware of it because we're going to do something about it. But if you act like it doesn't exist, it's going to keep having its way with it. Then you got to start freaking out like, oh my God, I got it. No, it's not like that. It's not like you're the Exorcist kind of thing. Like your head's not going to spin around, but there has been cases of that. But it's nothing like that. It's just they can manipulate your behaviors.
There's nothing aggressive like this dramatic as well.
There are cases that are like that. And even in the Vatican, they talk about this stuff, so what I'm saying, you can agree or not, but, religious figures that talk about this stuff and have special priests who go do things like this to exorcise demons out of people. We do energy work, right? To certain people who are gifted in that way. Monks even do it. So swamis do it, so people do this stuff, work all the time, but we don't talk about it because it's taboo to talk about these things, and like, once again, like I said, one of the best tricks the devil ever proved to us is that it didn't exist when it does, because if you just act like it's not there, then you're not looking at.
Or would you also say that because these emotions of anger, of depression, greed, lust, they are normal as well. So I think there's also this not to be afraid of these emotions either.
Exactly. When you're present with these emotions, then you take the power away from them because you're present with them. But what happens is we stuff all this stuff down like it's not happening. And then you have all this stuff that's sitting in your body, right? And then when something happens, you become reactive and all of it goes. And it's like when you just been out of nowhere, just get this rage of, right?
Yeah.
And it's all this stuff that you've been sitting on. Right. And so it's like this cloud, which you don't recognize as a cloud, right? It's like, oh, I just feel hot.
Yeah.
Right. But for those of us that can see, it's like this big expansion of like energy and intense energy, and something of that nature goes, oh, yeah, swims right to it. Right.
And then it can go in when the life is over. The stuck of rage comes up and
Yeah. Yeah. Or when you're just in deep depression. Right. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone who's in deep depression would go work with someone who does that kind of work and they get better. Yeah. Yeah. You know, because not only do they get better, but by having that God, that person sees that there's another way of thinking. And that's usually going within. And so once you go within, then you start working on that, being within. Because
have you seen this movie Soul? The Pixar animation.
yes, yeah.
You know, when that girl is like with this dark hiding, and there's all these monsters like trying to scare him away when he goes for what's her name?
The girl that's in
Five, 3-2 or something.
3-2, and she's like in I forget what they call it. But yeah.
In between the water.
In between the world, and she's all this darkness.
Yeah, where the ship was navigating before, and there he says like these are the lost souls.
Yes.
Kind of that stuff.
So that's pretty much what happens when, we get that deep depression like that. We become a lost soul. You know, we can't see the outside world for what it really is. We just think it's this dark world, where it's like, and all these other souls with like all these mod things are around, like, whoa, and it just slowly just eat natural energy, so you feel more and more like that. You get, we tell them that you're schizophrenic or something like that, right? Yeah. That's not, you really are saying that. And then when you deal with it, you get to see the light, you get to feel the light, you're reminded that you're a child of God or a child of the universe. And when you feel that, and it's like taking the breath again. And you become alive again, like in the Pixar movie, right? Like, okay, once he put the light back into her, her memory started to come back. She started to remember who she really is.
Right.
And that's exactly how we are. This is who we really are. When we start recognizing that light within us, this is who I really am. And so all these other energies don't, this work that we're doing is to recognize who we are inside. And then at some point, we don't have to deal with all that shit we went through because we recognize who we are inside. Right? All this work that we're doing is to bring us back home into that light inside of ourselves and to shine that light. And when we shine that light, it dispenses all the darkness. Right? But we have to go through the darkness to get the light.
Over and over and over again until we just get strong enough to actually be in that.
To them just be in the light. And so it dispels the darkness. Right? You become a beacon of God. You become you become a service to God.
So you can just let the energy of love flow through you and express itself through you as an expression of God. How to let the universe flow through you and express itself through you.
Yes. And so you just walk around dispensing the darkness.
And it's funny because actually that was funny enough yesterday when I felt so upset about this relationship, and it just took me over. Just within a second, it's like poof, and I was there, and I just wasn't able to come out. And then when you sat on the table and you were talking about this interview, and so we're gonna do that, I just wasn't able to. I don't know. But something like when you walked out and I went to get him, be like, hey, how do you do that? Because I just felt like I cannot do this by myself. I cannot get there out alone. I understand everything, but I need somebody right now to pull me out. And you sat down with me and it's this amazing work, which is just beyond words and just was there for me. You were seeing the light in me. And that's my interpretation what you did, but I'm curious to actually hear your process, what you actually maybe did. But it felt to me you were seeing the light in me and you weren't blinded by my own clouds. And you were just present and where it felt like you were just, yeah, you saw that person within me who's just loving, who's not affected by it at all. And therefore I could start to feel it myself. This is somewhere. Oh, did you have anything of that perception in that process?
Well, I think you hit it right above. When I'm present with someone, I don't see your shadow. I see who you really are.
And is that because you're not afraid of your own shadows?
Right.
Because I think if you were afraid of your own shadows, you would get scared by my shadows.
Right. That's what usually happens with people. Like I made friends with my shadows. I know my shadows just are love that's wanting to come in. Even your shadow wants love. That's why it's there. And that's why I was said earlier, it's through the darkness that we get to the light. Because when we befriend our shadows and we offer love and compassion, it dissolves into light. Right? And not to fear that. Like our shadows is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to be an Amma anytime soon. You're not going to be a Jesus anytime soon. You're not going to be a Buddha anytime soon. So you got shadow. Right?
Yeah.
Priests, swamis, they all have shadows. But the difference is they can be present with it. And not judge it, not fear it. And see that in other people. See the light in people. Because we're all here working through something. None of us are perfect. And matter of fact, that word doesn't really exist. This is a made up thing that we put out here to be able to carry it with. You know, we're all flawed individuals who are just trying to find a way back home into our hearts to love. And the more and more we go through that shower, that shadow, we create more light so that we just dispense that. Doesn't mean I don't have my shadows. Doesn't mean you don't have your shadows. Right? It's just that when we see it, we ask it, what do you need? We work with it so they can get what it needs up is transmuted to light.
You like to explain a little bit more what you explained to me, how you work with the three bodies?
Yeah. So this body that I am in is 3 different entities. Okay? It has the inner child, which has been with you since the moment of conception till now. You have this body, which is holding every imprint of every emotion, every trauma, everything that you've been through, not only you, but your ancestors. Okay? Your generational and your collective and your heritage, right? And in these cells are every experience that has happened before you. And it holds all that in this body. Then there's your higher self, which is our true self, right? And when we align all 3 of those together, we are able to really do some amazing work, transmute some things, go down deep. So when I do my processes, that's what I'm doing, is I'm helping you to understand that this inner child needs you. That's the one that's reactive. That's the one that's mad. It's not you, for the sake. That's the one who is reactive. Anytime you see someone acting a fool over here, it's not them. That's their inner child. That's their trauma happening. Right? And if you see a child throwing a fit or whatever, you don't go, man, get your ass up right now. Get your crap up right now. You go over there and like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh, what is wrong? Oh, poor baby. That baby's upset. Somebody, what does that baby need? What does that baby need? Oh, no, what does that baby need? Right? That higher self comes in and says, what does that baby need? Where do you feel that at? You're talking to your body. And when we talk to the body goes, oh, you're talking to me. Oh, yeah, I feel that right here. Can you breathe there? Can you breathe into that part? Yeah. So we're given all three of those identities of voice. We're this, in this, how do I deal with this? Well, you're trying to deal with the inner child without the body. Without the body, the inner child can be affected.
Right, so you distinguish the body is not necessarily the adult.
No.
Right, because yesterday I did like a little recap of my experience. I did like a little just sharing, and I was like, he works with inner child, the adult, and the higher self. But no, it's okay. Good that you clarified that. And right, so you take the experience which you have, which is that the emotional response comes from that inner child. That creates something in the body. The higher self comes in and it's like, okay, is that what he needs? Yeah, that's what. And the body's like, this is what I need. Yes, okay, breathe in there. And then the body is like, oh, yeah. And it's for doing that. And then the inner child's like, oh, yeah, that actually doesn't feel so bad now. Right.
Right. And so, like in the work we did, that you did, you were able to go back to the original source. Right? Because we asked that question. Where did you first experience that? And I asked you not to judge what that child says. Because Miriam, the first one, you're like, I think, but I don't believe that. But I go, but what does the child say?
Yeah.
Right? And then you go, oh, wow, I didn't, right? And that's when that inner child's like, oh, you listening to.
Yeah.
And that's when they really took off. Like, you really started to feel,
Yeah.
right? And he was like being
Broke down because it's just like, fuck, I suppressed this child for years being an adult. And the pain came up. It was so much, actually, so much, because like at some point I really wanted to go deeper, but it just like, I don't know if I can. And then I kind of just stopped abruptly, and you're like, thank yourself for even going there. Don't try to even like, no, why didn't I come to me? Appreciate the work that you're actually doing in that moment. This is so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we want to judge. We want all of it out, right? Like, get all the, but what tends to happen, it's like an onion. It gives you what it can handle at the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get some, sometimes you get very little.
And it was interesting because I felt that sometimes when I was, and that's another topic of, I was processing my grief in relationships. And I think that's why I went a lot from relationship to relationship, that I wasn't able to go that. And often when I had a really good crying session with an ex-girlfriend, that's because I could open up so much. And it was just so healing that I was able to pull these strings in that setting, which was so new for me. I'm like, wow, this can happen. Like, if you just feel trust, it has nothing actually to do that. I can only do that in relationships. And that's actually the toxic thing of trying to do that in relationships and not being able to actually do the healing work before you go into a relationship.
Right. You know, we just jump from relationship, expecting change.
Yeah.
And the imprint, like when we discussed the imprint, like there's an imprint that kept happening. Right. And with that, and then you recognize, oh, this is the imprint that keeps happening to relationships.
It's a recurring pattern.
Yeah. Like, okay, all right. What's behind that? Like, we don't, because we just keep going from this relationship with this imprint, and we're going, it's going to be different here. It's the same coloring book.
Yeah.
And we're just coloring a different color.
Yeah.
And then we go by the same coloring book and we go, It'll work here.
Yeah. This time I'll do it different.
This time I'll do it. I'm gonna color it differently. But it's the same imprint. It's gonna have the same results. Because it's the same outline. Until we look at that imprint, we go, what's behind this imprint? And we look behind the imprint, it has something to do with our childhood, especially in relationships. Oh my God, relationships, if we would just let that inner child speak, it would tell you why you keep picking the same women or same man. There's something that inner child did not get that it's looking for, and it's picking the same thing until it gets it. And it's usually us going, what's behind that? Oh, you got hurt this way. It's trying to talk to us by picking these relationships. I was hurt by this, and you haven't heard me. So I'm gonna bring it up in your face. I'm gonna keep making you pick the same damn shit, same coloring book, over and over again until you realize that this is what hurt me.
It's just the inner child's just trying to talk to you.
Just try to talk to you.
Hmm.
And then when you go, oh, where did that stem from? And you go there, you don't want that kind of thing.
Something just kicked in there, like. Yes, of course. Because I was ignoring my inner child for so long. And now it was just time to be like, look, please, I was so painful. I just want to be hugged.
I just want to be hugged.
Yeah.
Will you hug me different, or will you hug me different? Will you?
And that's what you also did, because you told me that in the processing you were saying, okay, when you felt that anger and when you had to go to that punching bag and express the anger, can you change the story? Can you be that adult which you wanted your father, who you wanted your father to be? Can you be that adult for him? And can you hug him now? Can you just give him what he needed?
Yeah. You change the story, you change the narrative, you change the replay. You change the loop. Now it's on a different track, right? So now he got what he needed, but he got it from you, which he's been trying to connect with the whole entire time. But you keep blaming your dad. You kept blaming your dad like it's going to change. So when we go in there, and instead of believing you with, oh, this is it, now you understand the root of the problem, then we go and we change it. While you're there, what did you want? Can you give yourself that? What do you want the story to be? And so when you give yourself that, then you give yourself change. You destroyed and recreated.
The universal process.
The universal destroy and create. And then you felt it, like you were like, oh, wow. You know, you went from what you were feeling into this laughter. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was, wow.
But I forgot until no one said that.
Yeah.
But actually the laughter came, it was so funny because the girl next to us talking in German said exactly like she just answered. She was the inner child saying exactly. I can't remember what she said, and then I just cracked up because it was just so funny that she said something. It was not your fault.
Yeah.
Exactly in that moment, or something like that in German. And I have a version against German, the German language a little bit, because I store a lot of things like which is attached to that. And she just said exactly that thing. I'm like, what are the chances?
What are the chances?
We're doing this crazy inner child work, and they're with it. They're with us. And I didn't even dare to open my eyes who around was there as well, because there were other answers from other people, like a little bit further down, saying also things which was all one divine interplay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what yes, this is the universe right now at stake. Not at stake, at
Play.
at Lila.
Leela. Yeah.
Doing his Lila thing.
Yeah. So that was an experience. It was having an experience. It's like, because we were on Amma's land, right? Like, God is everywhere. So why wouldn't I incorporate everyone around me to help me with this? That's fun.
Yeah, right.
That's fun. Like, I'm gonna help him be present with what he is needing to hear and see through everywhere. Because usually what we hear distraction, right? With all these people like talking over here and this and that. But it was orchestrated that you were hearing what you needed to hear through each person at certain times.
Yeah.
And having this play with you, you're like, how the heck? You just can't make this up.
Yeah, it's
But you didn't even notice because you had your eyes closed, right?
yeah.
And you were in this trance, but you were hearing what you needed to hear through different versions of voices, a woman's voice, a man's voice, the tone of the voice, how this is, how are you doing? You know, all these things to touch your sensories,
Yeah.
to help you to release. And I don't even like saying this dissolve. I don't like using the word. I like to say dissolve, because we dissolve that into light.
Into what?
Delight.
Into the light.
Into light, right? So that's why I'm asking you to breathe into that part where you're feeling that, because as you breathe into it, it may still be there, but what was able to dissolve, turn into light.
And you also said that if you breathe into this part, you give it love. You said that, right?
Yeah, because that's what our breath is. It's prana. That's universe. You know, so we're using universe to heal through our breath. That's why I'm bringing the breath word to it. You know, can you breathe? And that, can you be compassionate? Can you just allow? Not try and change it, right? Like I said, don't try and change it. Don't be like, no, just breathe into it with compassion.
Where attention goes, energy flows. You put the attention on the area where you feel something is happening. You let the prana go in there and do its work.
Let it this work. We don't need to do anything. That's where our ego comes in. Like, we need to do something. We don't need to do anything. This is God's country. This is God's country.
Right.
All of this is God. Right? All you gotta do is just let God in. Go to work. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just thank you for doing that work on that spot.
Thank you.
It wasn't me, brother. That was you.
And it was so interesting when you left, and I suddenly felt like, I'm alone. You just left. And even then, to the last minutes, you kept showing me what I needed to, because this is also my thing. I feel supported by these relationships, and then suddenly they're gone. I feel like, why did they just leave? Because I needed to be alone.
Yeah.
And that's what you told me then. You felt like, I just felt that you need your space. And I woke up and suddenly everyone was gone. All these supporting characters, everybody who was orchestrating this play, were all gone. Like, what do you get? I don't know. Can somebody just validate my experience? And I thought, but why do I need the next validation of somebody else? This is me having had the experience. It doesn't matter who was around there or who not. It's me who had this experience.
Only you.
No.
Only you have it. And only you could have it to hold that space for yourself. Right? My method is to empower people.
And how is it for you as somebody who's been on the journey for so long? Are you able to hold the space for yourself? Or do you also, is this why you also go to other healers? Because you also need them to hold the space for you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can hold a space to a certain extent, but I'm going to say this. My space is only going to see what I want to see.
So there's also limitations.
Yeah, there's limitations. I can't see me. I can see you all day long, man. I can see through you, up you, down you, and this, all levels of you. But I can't see me like I'm looking at you now. My eyes can't turn around and look at me.
Right.
I can feel, like, I'm very good about feeling, and like I said, I'm pretty good to a certain extent, but I got to a point where my healing is so deep that I have to have someone hold that container for me and guide me through it. Because I need to just surrender to it and go there. But when I'm doing it myself, there's this part that is like analyzing and being aware and feeling and doing all these things rather than just surrendering to it. Yeah. So this work is something you can do by yourself, especially this method, because it's just nonstop. It's all about what's behind it, what's behind it. If you keep asking yourself the questions, I can get there. But my healing is so ancestral and karmic that I need people who can take me there and be with where it came from, like an origin. Like, a lot of my stuff is past life stuff that I'm working with now. It's not even necessarily about right now. Right now it's triggering it. But it's something that's happened maybe in a past life. Right. And I'm only going to get part of the story. But if I go to the people that I work with, they can work it through all the way.
And is there a change in quality, as in where you're able to realize at some point, okay, this is now, I've worked through most of what happened here, this is already past life?
I try not to even go to a past life, regardless of it's right now, because my life has never ended.
So you don't make the distinguish, okay, this is this life, this is past life.
It's just now.
It's something, might be from there or might be from here, but I want to resolve it
I
now.
want to resolve it now. I don't, because that's
Intellectual game.
an intellectual game. Oh, this is past life stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it makes it sound a bit like satay. And it's not my fault.
Yeah. Right. Which owning it. I own, when I'm doing my work, I own my stuff. Regardless of this long, it's not about you. That's why I'm so strong in that. When working with people and then we work with myself, it's not about you. My inner child got reactive. My soul got reactive. What does it need? Thank you for being the one that did it. Okay. But like in that situation we was talking about earlier, I'm not going to be disrespected. I'm not going to be taken out of my power because of it. Because that's also part of my healing. Owning my power and standing up for myself. So it's just like, it's so much, right? But can you do it with love and compassion?
Coming back actually to what is the most important thing. Like, doesn't matter which road you go into, but as long as you can do it through love and compassion,
Yeah.
love will guide you. Love will show you the right way.
Every time.
Wow.
Every time. Love never lies. Love is always truthful.
Something that really helped me was on trying to feel unconditional love, that I found it really challenging sometimes. Because sometimes it was just not loving, like, no, I'm not being unconditional loving. But what helped me was to try to be unconditional and compassionate. Whereas even though I'm angry, I'm like, but I feel why you did that. Okay, I get you. And then with this compassion, I kind of then come back slowly to the state of being loving again.
Yeah. That word you said, unconditional love, I think is the biggest. What only person I know gives me that is Amma. She's the only one that knows what unconditional true love is. I am still human. I still have judgment on love. She gives it to me and I understand what it feels like. So I throw that out. I throw that word out the door. Because see, me personally, love is a made up word. Compassion, though, is love. What I would identify, if I could say love is something, is compassion.
It's not so, compassion is not so, not such a gross emotion, right? It's just,
Acceptance. It's just acceptance. And offering warmth to her.
yeah, it feels warm.
It feels warm. So,
Fuzzy.
right. But you tell me, give it unconditional love. That angers me. Because I don't know what it is. I don't have that kind of power. Only God, Jesus, the avatars, the Mahatmas of this world have that kind of ability. You know, I even used to say, oh, my daughter gave me unconditional love. No, that little butt gets angry at me all the time. But she has a lot of compassion for her daddy. And her daddy makes her feel warm. You know, her dad listens to her, still calls her princess, and makes her feel warm.
Yeah.
Right? That's compassion. And it makes me feel warm to watch my daughter feel compassion. Because she lets go. You let go. Like when you were doing your work, you let go. And you let all this floods of emotion and joy come in. You felt good. You went from one extreme to another extreme, and you're like, oh, this feels good. Was that love or was that compassion? Right? Because you just, the whole words we're using, I don't think I used love. So can you offer that compassion? I may have used it a few times, but it's mainly compassion. Because compassion or this,
It's the connection to the person. The heart connection.
or even more so, is connecting to what you got going on.
The truth in the moment.
Truth and more. Can you offer that compassion? That's connection. And I'm going to let you be who you are, and I'm going to breathe into you. I hear you. I see you. I'm connecting to you. Let's go and breathe some breath into you that help you to transmute to who you want to be without me judging you. That's compassion. Love is whatever your system you grew up in. And that can be traumatic. That's why I stopped using it. I try my best not to use it, because love to me is not a very good word. It's like that 4-letter word to me, the real four, like, yeah. But you say compassion, I can do that, man. I can do that. I can be compassionate with you. Because each one of us, love means something different. None of us love the same way. But we say compassion, we understand that. It's okay, that's acceptance. It's connection. It's letting go of trying to control. And accepting it for what it is. Love is controlling. Because I'm saying love is this way. To me, compassion is universal. And then it comes in universal. And then it starts to turn into what we know as love. Yeah. So usually in the beginning of sessions, it's not until the end that I will use that word, because now I know you are feeling it. It's not the system that you grew up in. You're feeling something divine flowing through you. You're feeling the universe flow through you. That is an assistance of you. That's what love is. And so that's where I want you to go. And that's why I use that word at the end. When I see the flow happening, I see the energy flowing coming through you, then I help you to associate what love is, so that you can come back to that.
Also redefine it in a way, that the old predicaments that you have associated to this word and what you think it actually can be, not what you think it is, but just how it feels. Like this pure way.
Yeah. And so men, we haven't had the opportunity to be compassionate to ourselves, because we've been in wars, we've been barbarians, we've had to provide, we've had to hold up what a man is supposed to be, that we don't have ever been told that men don't do that. We need to do that. And the only way we can do that is with each other. We can't get that from a woman.
No.
You know, we can't expect to heal with a woman. That is not going to happen. We need other men to heal because only a man understands what it's like to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like I found it interesting because initially when that person that woman came into the room and she sat down at the table, we stopped. Did you notice that? When we're in Gita's today.
Mm-hmm.
When she came in, our conversation kind of got quiet.
Mm.
And that's when she got up and left again.
Ah.
And then we went back to talking. Right? Because we have this, it's like a code we have. I don't like going if I see women talking. No.
Right.
It's the only part of this. I don't understand this language. I'm going to go get us a break. I'll be back. I take my time. I'm hanging out watching TV and I don't like watching TV. Right? Because I want to give them their space. I want to honor them and let them have their place to be women and have that conversation. But they're so used to doing it because that's what women do. They support each other most of the time.
The sisterhood and like also
This is a,
very, very strong.
yeah, right?
I think also because they came from not, or at least this is how it seems to me, that there was this suppression of women.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like almost like this, okay, but she's a sister. Like we've been suppressed.
Right.
And maybe this is where it's coming now with men, because this shift of like the polarities is not coming to a balance, and a lot of men don't even know what it takes to be a man nowadays.
Yeah, it's what it was to be a man 10 years ago is not what it is to be a man.
It's so confusing, like, and also like with the rise of feminism, like that a lot of women are. I've heard once this about other women saying, she's also a therapist and she works with other women, and she says, stop castrating your man.
Yeah.
Because they almost take away the power from the man, want to be completely equal, which is, it has its rightful place.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need to be aware what is the consequence of it. That a lot of men feel confusion. Okay, how can I be a man now? And we need to feel empowered as a man. We need to feel like a man.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you do that? I guess that's the...
So I hear what you're saying, and I completely agree. And what has happened in that movement is they bring it home. Equality. They bring that home. There is no equality. I'm a man, you're a woman. I'm not trying to dominate you, but there's a reason why I'm the man and you're the woman. Right? You in the workplace, you're absolutely right, baby. Yeah, you deserve equality. But we're not equal in the home. We're not equal in a relationship. We have roles we play. And that is not going to change. If a woman wants to come home and be the man, then something has to give. And if a man wants to stay in a relationship, usually a man will submit because he does love her. He will surrender his masculinity and let himself be dominated because she does not know how to turn off the masculinity and come home as a female. Right? The woman needs a man who is strong, who is firm and standing in his power and his masculinity. Does that mean that I'm like all this strong? No, it means I'm balanced, but I'm still a man. Like I feel like I am a balance in my masculine and feminine energies, but I'm still a man. I'm still strong. I still know how to treat a woman. I'm not letting a woman teach me how to treat her as a man, because she can't do that. She's a woman. Like I don't expect her to try and teach me how to be with my feminine side, because it's not the same kind of feminine energy. I'm a masculine man, and so therefore, that that masculine they're working with is the toxic masculinity. But if they're within themselves and they're balanced, they're more into their feminine role. But they're standing in their power as that. And it's a balanced power of learning and communicating and being present. Not bringing that home, that aggression home. Right, and that's what tends to happen, is that they bring that aggression home. And then we surrender ourselves because we believe in the equality to the feminine movement. Guilty. I was guilty of that. Right, I was the supporter. I support my wife in this film room. You're absolutely right. But she didn't know how to turn it off. But she was like, I need you to be the man. Well, I'm trying to be a man. When I be the man, you want to get it. You want to bring out your masculinity. You don't know how to turn it off. There's a difference. Like when I was at work, there were several women I had to bring that feminine side out more and to make them feel comfortable. But when I came home, it wasn't like I brought that in the house. Because I don't need to bring my feminine side to be for you to be comfortable. You're already there. I need to bring my masculinity in there so you feel safe. You feel supported. You feel okay being in that role.
Right.
Right?
And what do you say about the topic that what if some men want to be the woman in a relationship and some...
There's nothing wrong with that.
But do you think this is something natural?
Absolutely. I was a single father. I was a mother and a father. I know what that role is, and I loved it.
But I mean, now, if you're not single, if you're in a relationship and you just have a partner and she's just naturally just wants to be more masculine and you want to be more feminine.
If that works for you, yeah. If that works for your dynamic, fine. If that works for you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If it works for you.
But there needs to be an understanding of where you, not consciously, okay, I'm the man or the woman, but the acceptance of, okay, yeah, you have this energy. And,
or you can learn how to communicate. Ideally, right? Like you learn how to communicate. You know yourself enough that you can teach someone how and what it is that you need. Because you know yourself. Rather than expect that person to guess. And then when it gets wrong,
right, yeah.
Right? But if we learn who I am or what I need and what makes me go, what I like, and I'm not just talking about just communicating about problems. I'm talking about communicating our finances, communicating our sexuality, communicating how we want to be treated, how we want to be talked to.
Tasks assigned,
right? Duties and things like that. Can you communicate that without it being like, right? And so I want to come back to this sex thing because a lot of relationships end because of sex. Okay? Because men don't explore their own sexuality. We don't know. It's not something we're taught to. How do you feel? How do you like being touched? It's just not the cock.
Yeah.
Right? If that offends anybody, I mean, this is a man's show, so that's what we have. I'm like, or a penis, if that makes you feel better. Okay? But it's not just, how does that feel? How does your body feel? How do you want a woman to touch you?
Yeah.
Right?
That's I only later with time I realized that I'm so desensitive. Like, I don't feel anything so much because I was so focused only on the genital, on the dick.
On the dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the pleasure was based, I wanted to have there at some point. And it was so limiting. And I was almost jealous at women that they have so many pleasure points and this, that. They just go in ecstasy and feeling it all. Yeah, this is so limiting.
So if we could eliminate these limitations, how much better would our relationship be?
Yeah.
How much better would it be if I could come to my partner and be like, look, I'm just really stressed right now. It's not that I'm not into you.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of things going on and I just need to be helped.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of, we don't talk about that. Like,
can you just hug me? Can you
just hold me? Yeah. Right? That's not manly. Baby, can you hold me? I don't want to have sex.
Yeah.
What? It's real. Like men, whether you want to believe it or not, sometimes you just want to be held. It's not about the sex. Can you do those other sensory things to connect with your partner and let them support you that way, so that when you do have sex, it really is sex, right? It's not just like, oh, this is really great, I'm focused on that. You've taken in all this support, all this vulnerability, all this touch. Baby, I like it when you touch me here and this and that, to a point that you learn who you are.
I feel safe in this.
Are you safe, right? Like, I feel safe telling you that I don't want sex right now. And it's never wrong with you. And it doesn't mess with my masculinity. Because what we tend to do is when men are stressed out, we cannot perform.
Yeah.
Right? And what we keep trying. If it's like, we're like, no, it's well, come on, man, keep back up there. All right, it's getting hard enough. And we're trying to go in and go, and we go, what's wrong with me? Well, dude, you're stressed the heck out. I'm serious right now.
You try to be milk kids.
Yeah, right. You about to lose your job. You got 18 house projects to do. You tired. You ain't slept in months. You unhealthy. You haven't been working out. You eating crappy food. It's not gonna work. There's nothing wrong with you though. Can you just hold Ashram and hold me and communicate what's going on to your wife or your partner? That is important, because it lets them know, oh, it's not me. They don't go into their heads like, why come he can't get it up?
Yeah.
Right? But when we understand, because this communication I'm talking about, when we do it to ourselves first, then we help others as well.
Right. We can express that, even make them understand.
Yeah.
If we don't understand, how are we supposed to extend to somebody else?
Right.
To somebody we love. And it's like,
right. And we usually, when in relationships, we usually get very frustrated. Men usually get frustrated when a woman says, can you just communicate with me? Can you tell me, what the hell does that mean, man? What are you trying to talk to you right now?
yeah.
Well, what do you want from me? Right? Well, what she's asking for is, what is it you need?
Yeah.
What do you need right now? How can I support you? But if you don't know that yourself, it enrages you, because you realize, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need right now. And I don't know how to communicate it. I don't know. Because that ain't masculine.
Should let that you don't know.
That admit that I don't know. So will you take the time to know and be vulnerable enough to, like, this is what's going on with me. I'm feeling sad right now. It's not about you, honey. I just really feel sad. I don't know why. But how do you model that? You model it with your brother. You don't go try and model it with your woman. You model that with your brother. And when you model that with your brother, you become more secure with your masculinity of speaking that way. Because your brother in turn will do it to you and will honor you if you're in the right setting and if you have the right people around you. Right? So this work that we've been doing together, now we can go back into our relationships and we can be vulnerable and communicate and say these kind of things.
No.
Right? Because we modeled it to each other. Like, this is okay. Now I can go talk to my woman like this. This is what I'm feeling right now. And this is why I'm feeling like this. And in turn, usually the woman's gonna be like, oh my God, I got a good man. Yeah, I got a good man. He just told me how he felt. Girl, such and such just talked to me and he said he was feeling sad. It wasn't about me. And we had this long conversation and we worked it out with each other and I helped him to see, Oh, I got a good man. Oh, I just feel so good.
Then we cuddled, I spoon too. I'm so jealous.
Oh, he did that. What was that like? And oh my God, it was just the best. And he didn't want sex. He just wanted to hold me. Right? So then when you do have sex, it's like
a byproduct almost, because you connect from heart to heart, you talk it all through, you express your needs, and you just feel so safe, and then naturally your bodies are just they come together, like the bodies do it because the bodies feel like secure and safe with
They stay
themselves.
safe, right? Instead of I'm done, let's roll over.
Yeah.
Right? There's this intimacy about it. Like there's this connection, a deeper connection. You know, but once again, you can try and do it with your wife or a woman therapist, whatever. I'm not bashing that because some good work can be done, because there is something about having a female across from me that something you may need to work with. But if you can do it with your brother, we're men therapists. It is so much more beneficial to you to work this process through, to get in that mode of feeling safe, to communicate this way, and not let your ego be like, this isn't manly. Men don't do this stuff. We don't talk like that.
That's right.
And when you're doing them, I mean, when it just becomes natural, like I don't think we could probably talk to each other like this, you know, any other way now. You know, yeah, like we connected the other day, and you go, in the third sentence, how are you feeling right now? Right? And I go, well, feel a little numb, overwhelmed. And we said, what do you feel like that's about? And I go, well, because this, and this, and this. And then it take me to someplace else, right? All right, man, I'll see you later. Talk to you later, bro. Boom. That was that conversation.
Oh yeah, when the astrologer, what wasn't it? And then you were
God.
bye, this more, and then hey, what is this what they call?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it just went like then just
Yeah, I was like this. Oh, here's Mom. I'll talk to you later. All right, you sell me.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's not something you have to be in it like, oh my God. It can be a simple conversation. You know, it doesn't have to be the end of the world type emotions when you can acknowledge them. This is how I feel. You know, because I'm taking that power out of it. Like, it's not the end of the world.
And you didn't tell me so to find answer from me how to fix it. You just, that's how it is, and I go, okay. And I think this is sometimes what happens when men try to fix each other. Like another man shares and they want to give them solution, like how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And there's no need for that.
The moment when that happens, I usually walk away because you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. I didn't ask you for a solution. You asked me how I felt. I answered your question, honestly. Rather like, I'm good. I'm all right, man. Yeah. No, I'm honoring myself. It's not even about you. You asked the question. I'm honoring what I'm feeling, and I'm allowing myself to feel that. It's like I was saying to you earlier about when I was sitting with that sailor, and this person walked up to me and asked me how I felt. And I go, well, a little sad, you know, a little disappointed, you know, I'm about to leave and I'm mourning, leaving. And they go, well, doesn't this feel good that we can choose to be happy? And I go, no, because that's not what I'm asking to do right now. I don't want to choose. I want to feel this. This is what I want to feel right now so that I can honor my happiness. Right? Why do we try and stuff this stuff down? If you feel it, feel it. Doesn't mean life has to take you over. But by me feeling, it doesn't take me over.
And there's also such a beauty in it. Really, like when you want to really be like fully in it, there's such beauty in it. And this is, I think, has something to do with this duality of good and bad.
Yeah.
Like it just is.
It just is.
This is right now it is. And I'm sure that if that person finds the beauty in it too, she can also go with you, like, oh yeah.
And if they're really honest with themselves, she'll probably be like, yeah, I'm feeling like such and such and such. right? Yeah. Instead of going, well, we're gonna choose to be happy. Yeah. You're not happy right now. I feel you. I'm empathic.
Yeah.
We're not happy, right? And then for you to say, oh, this is how I feel. We both be on the same. You can be on in the process of coming to happiness, right? Because that's what I was doing in that moment, was allow myself to feel it, so it'll become this lingering thing all day long.
Yeah.
I felt it, and so it dissolved.
Or transmutes into
Trying to
something.
do something else, but in the process of me feeling that, I can see all the beauty that's around me. Right? I'm not so distracted by trying to contain it and it be something else. Then I start seeing the little things that do start to make me happy, change my mindset.
In the process, the things pop out that make you happy, and you naturally get happy.
You naturally
Like
happy.
when you have similar, like this connection from heart to heart with your partner, and then in that you feel these feelings which actually make you feel really like uplifted, and you just become naturally uplifted.
Right. Yeah.
It reminds me also a little bit. I did this mandala course here at the ashram, and she was explaining that in mandala, everything you do is always in relation to the center. So whichever pattern you start, and around in the circle, you have to just continue the same pattern in the same distance to the center.
Yeah.
And when you go out there with one paddle, for example, like go then with another paddle out to the center, with another paddle to the center, with another paddle to the center. And it came so much in alignment of my understanding of emotions, that you feel them and you come back to the center, and then you go out in this emotion, you come back to the center, and you go into this emotion, you come back to the center. But what happens if you don't know what the center is? You go to one emotion, the sadness, you don't want that, and from there you want to go straight into happiness. You go there by force, and then you just go there, and you miss the center all the time, and then just like you don't feel the balance. But if you feel this, like, oh yeah, it's really difficult right now, I come to the center, in it you find the beauty. Oh, this is beautiful. You go, and then you become emotionally flexible, and I guess that's where the choice is. That's when you really have the choice. Yes, I choose to be happy. Yeah, I processed it. It's fine. Okay, now I can focus on the other things.
Yeah. So there is a couple questions that you would want to ask before we wrap up. What would they be?
How did you manage to be such a beautiful person?
God made me this way. How do I manage to be this beautiful person? Because I wanted to be okay for other men to be beautiful. I wanted okay for my kids to be beautiful. And the only way for that to happen, I wanted okay for women to be okay being around me, being beautiful. I wanted okay for my elders to see my beauty and respect it, because I'm giving it to them. I want the children in the future to be okay being who they are, so I consistently work on myself. And who I am is enough. Who I am is worthy. Some days better than others to know that it's okay to have self-love. And this is self-love. Like for people who are like, you need to love yourself more, I laugh when I hear that, when I hear people say that, because the fact that someone is doing the work on themselves, that is love. Beautiful. They want change, that is love. And that's love at the highest level. I don't like my behavior. I don't like how I'm doing things. God give me the strength to change. Even though if you don't even know what you're saying, God give me the strength to change. Because it's only through that energy source that it can change, because it will give you the answers. It will help it happen. And I've been on my knees enough. I've been in a place of hopelessness, and that source has come through every time. And it is beautiful. And I know where it is in me. Some days are better than others. And I recognize this. And I don't judge it. That is how I am in this beautiful way.
Oh no, Shivara.
Oh no, Shabbat. Oh no, Shabbat. What's your last question?
I don't think I have any right now anymore.
So my question is, you're doing your first interview.
Yes.
So this is the dream for you, right? This is a dream for you, like, and out of all this shit, you know, the struggle to get it done, you know, I got the tripod, you didn't tripod this and this and this, you know, and how does it feel to get your first interview done?
I feel so blessed right now. It's so beautiful. Like, I just feel like this is to have this richness of sitting here talking about something that I want to do my whole life. And I didn't realize that. But actually, one person actually asked me once, like, what did you want to do as a child? What was your favorite thing? And I'm talking about feelings. But I didn't admit that. And it just feels so, I can just sit here and I just had this amazing like artwork of a human is sitting there and sharing this process and everything, and I'm just like, wow. And that's for free. You know, I can just like, I just see into the depth of all you have and you're willing to show, and this is, yeah, it's incredible. And I'm so grateful. Like the first guest on this show,
For sure.
and just like hit the bullseye.
And you did it the way you wanted to do, like you had everything you wanted to have.
Yeah.
And you didn't think you had what you need.
Yeah. It's provide.
The universe provided. Circle back around.
Brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Amma.
Thank you, Amma.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you so much for this.
Hey, we can finish off with some bombs. Some bit of chanting.
Yeah, as well as I have a favor to ask.
Yes.
I want you to do this for Brother Chini. I want you to do this with Brother Chini.
Yes.
Okay. And then I want to know, what do you want to do with this?
Whatever has to happen.
Nah, what do you want to do with this?
So, a concrete plan of. So I was thinking to edit like one long thing and put that on YouTube, and then from then also I have like short, because there were like some moments like teachings, and do like a short reel of this, like, and then have this one long thing as well.
What are you going to call it?
This in particular, this episode,
So what are you going to call it?
or the channel,
The channel, what are you going to call it?
Man and His Feminine.
I feel that, but what about man and his divinity? There's something toward it. There's something toward it. I mean, ultimately,
Man and His Divinity. I think because I want to encourage, in particular, the feminine, to merge the man and the feminine, because it's like this. But divinity, it's yeah. But then we need to know that the femininity is also the divinity, and the male masculinity, like the merging of it. Something like that.
however you choose, it's going to be beautiful. And so I wish and I pray that however this needs to manifest for you to truly make this dream come true, and you be abundant in it. And through these sharings that you're going to be doing, lots of men, and men who are in that space, who are in that space that can help us all learn, you know, because I like the organic of this, right? Like this, to sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
All right, let's set this up and let's just have a conversation. How do you feel about this? Right? Because we're all going to have a different take, and we all are going to learn from each other through your willingness to want to share this ever since you've been a kid.
Yeah. And now it just feels somehow so, I don't know. It's so right. Because I never really like talking about superficial stuff. I always got like a little bit like, oh, why? And then I got a little bit about myself. Why do I constantly need to talk about deep things? I was like judging both things. And this is almost like, yeah, this is just my thing. I just talk about feelings. Like, well, why not?
Because I heard the same thing growing up. And I think you'll be amazed how many men heard that. Why you always gotta be so deep? Why you always gotta talk about this stuff, right? But this is what we really wanted to talk about. And you're offering a platform to it. So I just want to honor you right now. So we're honoring you right now, brother. Well, you
Just so much.
and I think it's amazing that we're doing it on Amma at the Ashram. Like we're talking about the first episode is at the Amma's Ashram here in India, and we're talking about the divine feminine energy. Yeah, let's bring Mama in here.
Yeah, no, mama.
This is Mom. This is Amma. This is our divine mother, our avatar, who has been so amazing, such a humanitarian, such a gift to the planet, incarnation of Jesus. And even if you know her or don't know her, Ashram said when Jesus come back, he's going to come back as a person of color. You predicted this beautiful avatar here.
Right. Actually, I just realized that now.
And so we are gifted to have the experience of being one of her guests home.
Right. It's so right. It's just like, yes, the first episode actually of something what I made want to do for my whole life happened here with Mama Amma.
Mama got it in her incarnation
Huh.
of the divine feminine. That's why I was like, okay, so we have to go here with this, like, right? Like, it's such a gift. That's how you know what you're doing is the right thing, brother. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. She created that space, and when it was time for it to happen, because that part of me was like, oh man, I gotta leave tomorrow, and I had just taken a shower, and I had looked at my phone. I looked at my phone, and I go, oh yeah, okay. And you saw me set up, and she goes, you already know. Go ahead and get up, give them a call, and say, let's do it. Right.
I was so happy that you did.
You know, and so just want to give Mama a shout out. I thank you for so many wonderful miracles that you've given us, Mother. Really, thank you for so many miracles that you've given us. This just being one of many blessings and miracles of making our dreams come true, because we choose to want to create the change that we've all been asking for, one way or another. And I just want to thank you, Mama, for loving us and showing us what unconditional love really feels like, not what we thought it was, and giving us the voice to it. And thank you for choosing to come back and blessing us to in this lifetime because, you know, I just want to say, all you guys, like, okay, think about this for a moment. If this was Jesus, right, and you're back in Jerusalem, back in the day of his time, how honored would you be that you were one of his disciples? How blessed would you feel that you were alive at this time and you knew, man, not only did you know who it was, but you got a hug. She hugged me. And it created so many memories and so much healing. And as I was talking earlier about, you know, being here and it being like light years of healing in 6 months, it's because of this beautiful dating, you know, and she's about to go on tour and I hope he gets this out before, you know, sometime during the tour. So you made me get to go check her out in the United States. She'll be going to Seattle, Oakland, Albuquerque, Washington, Boston, and Chicago. So if you get a chance, just check out her site, amma.org, AMMA.org. And if it calls to you, come home. Just come home. Yeah. You'll know when you go there. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Mama.
The grace of Amma.
No doubt, man. Like, it just really set into me as we were having right in the middle of our conversation. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, we're having this first episode of the Divine Feminine on the Divine Feminine's property.
In the body of her.
In the body of her. Try right. What? That's how you know this is right. That's how you know this is right. So, would you like to? No. All right, Dad, 3 loka, samastana, sakino is what you. Loka, samasta, sakino, bhavanjadu.
Loka samasta sakino bhavantu. Loka samasta sakino bhavantu.
Om Shanti,
Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Guru Yo Namaha.
I bow down at your lotus feet, Amma. Thank you, Mother, for this. Brother, it was fun. Yeah, we got it done. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all of us. Until we meet again, guys, I'll circle back around and do an interview with you one of these days.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Peace and love, baby. All that.
Bye.